upcoming NCAA tournament. Number 2 Houston at number 6 Iowa State. The backcourt likely the key to this marquee matchup, says ESPN college basketball analyst Seth Greenberg.
Kingston Flemings for Houston is a dynamic guard who can get in the lane, make plays, finish at the rim, shoots the three. They play through him late in games. On the other hand, Iowa State's got an elite on-ball defender in Killian Torres. These are both defensive teams that are connected defensively. They're physical defensively. They take you out of what you want to do. And the backcourt pressure of Iowa State, can they disrupt Houston? And they can Houston disrupt Iowa State.
Cougar Cyclones 9 Eastern ESPN. U.S. Women's Olympic Hockey team beats Sweden 5-0, is on to the gold medal game.
Hey, it's Evan Cohen. Coming up Tuesday, the Cowboys intend to franchise tag George Pickens. I'll tell you why their best option is to trade him away. It's Unsportsmanlike, 6 a.m. Eastern, right here on ESPN Radio, ESPN2, and ESPNU.
From Studio 2 at the worldwide headquarters of ESPN. It's good.
Matt Moscona.
I'm very important.
After further review.
Say one more time.
After further review with Matt Moscona.
And here we go.
Live from the Raising Cane studio.
Let's ride!
Running here on a Monday edition, Lundy Gras edition of AFR. Musso in for Moscona. Moscona will be back with you here on Fat Tuesday, but I'll carry you here through these 3 hours. We have a jam-packed 3 hours for you here today. LSU sweeps Milwaukee. I have a ton of baseball on the rundown because I have a ton of thoughts from those 3 games. And, of course, we got to get you a preview of LSU and Kent State a little bit later on here on this Monday evening. That game moved from 3 p.m. They were supposed to be playing while we were on the air. That game moved back to 6 p.m. Should be an awesome atmosphere at the box tonight, first night game of the season. So we have plenty baseball to get through. Doug Thompson will be here in about an hour and a half, recap his thoughts from the weekend and give us that scene setter on Kent State. It's also a massive day in LSU athletics when they announced the jersey patch collaboration with Woodside Energy. In fact, a week ago, Matt had an opportunity to sit down with Sarah Bairstow. She's the president of Louisiana LNG for Woodside Energy, worked hand in hand with the jersey patch. We'll bring you that interview in its entirety in about 13 or so minutes. So make sure you're here for that. Again, jam-packed and a lot to do. We will start here just with some overview thoughts on LSU's weekend sweep of Milwaukee. I want to take time to go deeper into what we saw from the starting pitchers. I want to talk about the newcomers, transfers, and freshmen that all had some moments over the weekend, so we can go a little bit deeper into that. Just an overview, though, you should come away feeling pretty good about LSU after they sweep Milwaukee through 3 games. Numbers don't always tell the story, and I think that is the case this weekend. But when you look at it, LSU launched 6 homers. They only struck out an average of 6 times per game, 18 Ks over the course of the 3 games. Very good. Scored 41 runs, outscored the Panthers 41-15. They set a program record for strikeouts with 49. More on that momentarily. Had 2 run rule victories, and you squeaked one out on Saturday. That kind of is one of the first takeaways. You saw LSU win in multiple different ways. That's very important in the game of baseball. That will serve them well as they go forward. They're going to have to do that in the 53 remaining games in the regular season. But it was also nice to see them be dominant for 2 days. When I look at this and the overall takeaway, my overall feeling is, in these 3 games, numbers aside, because just with the numbers, you're going to look dominant. There was some good. There was some bad. But overall, there is a lot to build on for this team, and ultimately that's where you want to be coming out of week 1. A brief thought on your starting pitching. As I said, we'll get into that deeper at the top of the second hour. At times, Casey Evans was dominant. The first 3 innings, very good. Struck out 7 in the first 3 innings. The second inning was his best of the game, not 1 3-ball count, and he punched out the side. But he ran into trouble in the 4th. Couldn't figure his way out of that. It was the second trip through the lineup. But more and more, I think it comes down to efficiency there for Casey Evans. And that's something he's going to have to continue to work on now in a starting role. You saw him have plenty of it out of the bullpen a year ago, going through lineups multiple times. But it is different. It is just a different mindset, is a different plan of attack, starting rather than relieving, regardless if you're going through a lineup multiple times. And I think you saw a little bit of that, and the lack of efficiency early led to that. We could explain more of that later, but basically, by the time you went through your second trip of the order, you had so many extended at-bats. Kind of everybody in the lineup had seen just about everything you had to offer. They were able to clock you a little bit more. But for those first 3 innings, he was really good. Now it's about working a little bit more efficient, not as many deep counts, and getting yourself deeper into a ballgame. We're not freaking out about this. It's one start. You know what he's capable of. He has a long leash to work through this, and he should. Cooper Moore was fantastic. I mean, that 6 innings, an earned run. The guy just ambushed a homer. Good for him. Cooper Moore bounced back incredibly well. I think he allowed one guy to reach base after that home run. He was dominant, struck out 11, which is a career high for him. And that's a guy more innings pitched than strikeouts in his entire career in college baseball coming into Saturday. But you saw 5 pitches. You saw him finish well with the changeup, which is just devastating. You saw him finish, guys, with the fastball that was up to 94 a couple of times. With his ability to mix and the pitch ability, he can get anybody out in the country. Like, that was an awesome performance. And he's the guy in this rotation right now that you really look at and go, okay, he can get you deep into ball games just about every time out. William Schmidt, kind of the same thing with Casey Evans. Ran into a little bit of trouble in the 3rd inning with that bases loaded jam. Thought he actually pitched out of it pretty well. Only allowed the 2 runs in the game to be tied. At times, he was really good. Others, not. You need more strikes there. So overall, I look at this. I see Cooper Moore was great. Some good, some bad from Evans and Schmidt. A lot to build on. And it'll come back around to them this weekend in Jacksonville against Power 4 competition, and it'll be a much stiffer test, and you'll learn a little bit more there. But those are 2 of the most talented arms on your team, and they're going to be given some time to work through this. I thought your bullpen was very, very good. And you saw the depth on display. 13 pitchers. And LSU still hasn't even used Jaden Newt, Danny Lockmeyer, Reagan Ricken, Zion Theophilus. They still haven't even used any of those guys, and they're all available for the game against Kent State here on Monday, as well as some guys like an Ethan Plogue, who didn't throw a bunch, who can come back. Gavin Guidry was under 30 pitches. Maybe you run him back out there. I'm like, they have plenty of options, and the depth was on display. You mixed and matched very well, and you always had an answer. And what LSU did very well is when they needed the big pitch, they got the big pitch. Think Dax Dothy on Saturday. Think Gavin Guidry coming in on Friday. Same with Cooper Williams. Grant Fontenot, Saturday. Zach Cowan in the 9th inning gets the first 2 of the man on second, gets the next 2 guys to 2 strikes, can't quite finish them off, gives up, allows an inherited runner to score and then one of his own. It's 5-3. You go to Grant Fontenot. He comes in, blows 100 past the guy twice. He pops up. The game's over. You needed the big pitch in that moment. He got it for you. So while you can look at the bullpen and see, yeah, there were some runs given up there. Cowan gave up a run. You know what he is, though. Santiago Garcia gave up 3. That was a little disappointing. But I would tell you that was the worst bullpen outing for LSU of the weekend. And Santiago Garcia is going to be a huge part of this team and be fine. That's a lot of talent there. You also see, Marcos Paz. But in totality, that was about as great of an effort I think you could have hoped for from LSU's bullpen because of the situational. Again, line scores aren't going to look great for some guys, but the situational aspects of it, I thought were very good for LSU. Offensively, again, the depth. 18 position players, y'all. 18 position players in 3 games saw action. 17 of them, or really all of them, 17 of them had plate appearances. Daniel Harden still doesn't have an official at bat because he's been hit by a pitch and walked. But he was up at the plate twice. So 18 position players play, 17 get a plate appearance. That is deep. Deep, 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 deep. You had not one, but 3 guys hit 500 this weekend. Cade Arambidi, Trent Caraway, and Jake Brown. No bigger performance over the course of the weekend than Brown, who hit the 500, drove in a team-leading 8 runs, and hit 2 homers and 2 doubles. Jake Brown was awesome this weekend for LSU. A couple of those hits came off of lefties. That was great to see. You love it. In fact, the double he hit on Friday is part of an inning where LSU had back-to-back doubles to lead it off, came off of the left-handed pitcher for Brown. He just served it out there and got the run across. You were dominant for the majority of that series on offense. You were near flawless for the majority of that series on offense. Do you realize LSU, with a runner at third and less than 2 outs, operated at an 80% clip? They were 16 out of 20 in that spot over the course of the weekend. You saw them use power. You saw them manufacture runs. The one time you got into a rut was against Eric Emke, the Saturday starter from Milwaukee, who just completely had LSU tied in knots and off balance. When the talented hitters on LSU are sitting there watching 88-mile-per-hour fastballs go by them for a strike with the bat on their shoulder, they don't know what's coming. Like, they are off balance when that happens. I think that led to a lot of the pop-ups in that game. Is that an excuse? No. You want to see that improved. It wasn't a great first, 6 or so innings, 6, 7 innings for LSU against Emke. But as soon as you got into the Milwaukee bullpen, 3 spot, and you're off and running again. That kind of pitcher gets LSU at least once every preseason. So I'm not going to freak out about that right now. They'll make the adjustments. Jay's an offensive wizard. They'll understand the plan better next time they face a guy like that. And hopefully you won't see as many pop-ups and guys watching 89 go right by them. But you also tip your hat to that guy because he pitched a hell of a game. Like, that was an awesome moment for him in his career, and he pitched a hell of a game. The other thing I will point out here, if we got to get to a break, I loved all the moments for Louisiana guys this weekend to open the season. None bigger than Gavin Guidry and Seth Dardar. Gavin Guidry, y'all, when he came out of the bullpen on Friday in what was a tight game at that point, and you had a runner on second base and nobody out when Gavin Guidry, or excuse me, a runner on first base and nobody out when Gavin Guidry comes in. And as soon as that bullpen door opened and people saw the number 8 emerge, that was a raucous ovation from the moment he ran in from the bullpen, stood on the mound, threw his first warm-up pitch, and they announced his name over the loudspeaker. And it was an awesome moment for a Louisiana guy who has contributed so much to winning for this program and had to miss all of last season to come in that moment, high leverage, and strike out the side, have his attitude, talk his noise. That was awesome to see, and ultimately he gave you 2 great innings with 5 strikeouts. The ball looked great coming out of his hand. The slider was very good. You saw a slower breaking ball, and you even saw the fastball get up to 93 a time or two for Gavin Guidry. That was great. And then Seth Dardar as well, man. We had him on the show Thursday before opening day, and kind of talked about what the emotions would be like for him. LSU is trailing 5-2. He gets a pinch hit at bat, and his first at bat hits a 2-run homer to bring LSU within 1 run. And that was part of a big weekend for him where he drove in 6 and hit another one out of the park on Sunday. That was awesome. And it goes deeper. I mean, you got to see, Jack Ruckert play a lot. John Pearson had a couple nice knocks in there. On and on and on, Louisiana guys. You can throw Jake Brown in there. I really, really liked those moments for those guys on opening day. Some good, some bad, 3 wins, a lot to build on, and we'll get much deeper into it throughout the rest of the show. LSU starts the season 3-0, sweeping Milwaukee. They'll face Kent State tonight at the box. Okay, we are going to grab a break. We'll come back on the other side. Sarah Bairstow will be here. She is the president, Louisiana LNG for Woodside Energy. She's talking about the jersey patches. Great conversation that Matt had last week. We recorded it. We'll bring that to you next here on AFR.
AFR.
Brought to you by Glow Resources. If you are a business owner, if you're an HR manager, a VP, an ops manager, if you're the person in charge of hiring at your job, at your place of business, and you're having trouble finding the right people, you need Glow Resources. Now, I want to remind you, Glow Resources, they're exceptional when it comes to skilled blue-collar workers and also white-collar divisions. Remember, Glow Resources has a full professional placement division. So we're talking about office administrators, executive-level assistants, assistant controllers, plant managers, scheduling assistants, basically any type of office job. Accounting, HR, marketing, managerial, supervisor roles. If you're having trouble finding those people and sometimes hard to fill roles, Glow Resources specialize. They recruit nationwide. For example, they had a Baton Rouge company that was looking for an engineer. They found the employee in Florida to work the job in California. It's Glow Resources. Check them out online today. glowresources.com.
At Bayou Automotive, we believe in a sales process that puts you first. We want you to experience an easy purchase with clear pricing and great service. Let Bayou Ford and Bayou Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram be your trusted partners in finding your perfect vehicle. The crew at Bayou Automotive is going to do right by you.
ED, low T, or simply seeking to optimize your health and performance? Goodwood Men's Sexual Wellness offers a range of discreet services to address your specific needs. We empower men to reclaim their health and confidence. Visit yourgoodwood.com.
Trust isn't given, it's earned. Earned by showing up, putting in the work, the hours that nobody sees. I didn't get here on my own. I trust my coaches to lead, my teammates to step up, and when the game is on the line, Our Lady of the Lake to keep me healthy and on the court. Because it takes a champion to care for a champion. I trust the Lake.
From championship athletes to everyday champions, trusted care starts here.
These are the luckiest ice cubes in the world. They could have been a thankless bed for an all-you-can-eat salad bar. But instead, they've been called upon to cradle and cool a crisp, refreshing Dos Equis. Looks like the lucky just got luckier. Dos Equis.
My father, J.B. Falgu, had a vision of growth for First American Bank and the communities we serve. The bank's foundation was built on his legacy of compassion, loyalty, and dedication. Through his years of leadership, First American has prospered to heights even JB could not have imagined. I know my father would be extremely proud of the customer service and financial stability that First American provides to Southeast Louisiana. We continue to thrive because of the legacy of JB Falgu.
Looking for cleaner energy? Propane is energy for everyone. And when you're cooking with clean, affordable propane, you're cooking with gas. In the wintertime, nothing heats a home like Louisiana propane. And when you need hot water, propane's got you covered. Oh, and you won't regret that propane generator when the power goes out. I'm Miss Louisiana, Gabrielle McLeod, and to find more information and to find a propane dealer near you, visit louisianapropane.com.
When it comes to choosing energy for your family and your home, make the smart choice with natural gas. You can count on efficient and affordable natural gas to keep you comfortable and reduce your environmental impact to help protect our planet. Together, we're fueling our energy future. Atmos Energy.
After further review, presented by Relief Windows. Windows, doors, siding, and oh, we do shutters too.
Well, it's a landmark day for LSU athletics. The NCAA did recently allow jersey patch sponsorships for college athletics, and LSU among the first in major college athletics to reach one of those partnerships. Woodside Energy has reached an agreement with LSU to have their brand on all 21 LSU athletic uniforms. And Sarah Bairstow is the president of Louisiana LNG with Woodside Energy. Is good enough to join us here in studio. It is a pleasure. Thank you for making the time. How are you?
Thanks for having me, Matt. I'm well.
Of course. I mean, this is a pretty exciting time. I want to get into and cover a lot of ground with you. But I think, Sarah, maybe one of the most important things for people, especially LSU fans, is to get to know who and what Woodside Energy is that's going to be sharing the brand with LSU. So, let's start there. If I said, okay, who is Woodside Energy? What do you all do? Someone has no idea, has never heard of you. What do you do?
Very excited to talk to you about Woodside. Equally to be here today. Must say I've been holding in this secret for far too long. So I want to get back to Woodside, but can I give you a quick gift? There's something.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
I mean,
is that all right?
yes.
I don't want to pivot, but
I would much rather start with getting a gift than talking about it.
All right.
Oh,
well,
look at this.
So first of a kind, we're incredibly excited to be partnering with LSU.
Oh my goodness, who did the box?
First of a kind. Well, pretty special. First of a kind jersey.
Wait, are you? This is for me.
We've got your name on the back.
Stop! Did you? And they spelled it right too.
Yeah, we spelled it right. We can spell.
The vowel, Sarah Moscona. The vowels trip up a lot of people. The voice guy on this station couldn't say my name correctly for like 5 years. That is amazing.
Even more amazing. Here is first jersey with the actual patch.
Let's go.
So really exciting. You can see too. I mean, blends seamlessly in. We're so excited. Fabric of LSU, purple and white. We do think first time that this is being done, it's important to set a precedent to make sure it's blending in well and that we really feel like we're a part of the team of LSU. So.
First of all, thank you.
You're welcome.
That is so thoughtful and generous and creative. I'm floored by this. My son's going to wear this like every game. I guarantee you. Check this out. So this is, Paul, can you get a tight shot on it? There you go. So it's the Woodside Energy patch on the right shoulder, I guess sort of opposite the numeral. That does look, I don't want to skip ahead, but I think this is maybe the most important part of this from the fan perspective is the aesthetic.
Yeah.
Right?
It is.
Because Woodside Energy, your colors are red.
Yeah, red and white.
You're red and white.
It's pretty bold. Yeah.
So red and white on purple and gold might have been a little
jarring.
So can we come back to that?
Sure.
Okay, let's come back to it.
Okay.
Thank you for this.
You're welcome.
That is so thoughtful. God, they spell my name right. Yeah. I love it so much. It's so good. How generous. Okay, so you've already won me over. Not that you had to. I was a big fan of this deal to begin with. But, okay, Woodside Energy. Mm-hmm. People, I think, have started to become familiar with hearing the name. What do you all do?
So Woodside Energy, we're an international energy company. We've been working here in Louisiana for about 20 years now, so a big player out in the Gulf of America, offshore fields and assets there. But we equally work around the world. So we've got LNG, oil, gas, new energy projects, etc. So we've been working with and looking at Louisiana for a long time, big fans, but we really made a big splash last year. We actually took an FID or a decision to invest $17.5 billion in Louisiana for a new liquefied natural gas project. So really flagship style of project, big, bold decision, but one we've got so much conviction in. It's bringing 15,000 jobs, direct jobs to Louisiana, 40,000 indirect jobs, really great economic outcomes. But at the end of the day, it all trickles down to people and communities, and that's exactly why we started talking to LSU.
First of all, on behalf of everybody in the state, thank you. The $17.5 billion investment in the LNG facility in Calcasieu Parish is the biggest of its kind in the history of the state. It's an amazing commitment to Louisiana, so thank you for that, sincerely. I mean, I think roundly anyone who lives here, loves the state of Louisiana, should be thrilled about that type of industry coming and committing to the state. It's also interesting because there's 4 LNG terminals in the state of Louisiana, which is the most in the country, correct?
Yeah.
Why is Louisiana so prime and ripe for LNG facilities?
So LNG, I geek out on this all the time, so bear with me, but US LNG represents 30% of global LNG these days. It's huge in just 10 years. Do you know how much Louisiana represents? 63% of that. It's a game changer from an economic growth perspective, an employment perspective, just the broader social fabric and what we can do there. But I think much of that, Governor Landry's done a really great job in really creating a strong investment climate. So you know that your capital is going to be not only welcomed, but well taken care of. And you've got really great people who are they're really skilled. So you've got great employment prospects matching with great economic opportunity. But most importantly, you've got a lot of great communities that really see the ability to move dollars down and impact, whether it's schools, biodiversity projects, or otherwise. So it's an effort of the masses and a full breadth of the stakeholder base to make these things work.
Sarah Bairstow is our guest. She's the president of Louisiana LNG, which, by the way, this initiative was announced just about a year ago. It was last April. And then May, you officially came on at Woodside Energy. Why did you make that jump?
I mean, I've been in LNG the majority of my career and came close to joining Woodside previously, but this was such a bold and compelling play. I mean, I love Louisiana. I like to think I'm an adopted Louisianan.
Let's go.
So it's a great place to work. It's a great place to build. And seeing Woodside come into the market and do it with such conviction, I knew it was going to be a great thing to get behind.
I think it's so important whenever people start to get to know a brand and associate with a brand that there is sometimes a name, a face, a voice associated with it instead of just a name of a company. When you can sort of personify a brand, right? You can humanize it. So I want to talk about you a little bit. So everyone can tell by the accent, right? So you're from Australia.
I'm Australian. Don't judge me. I'm Australian.
First of all, I think it's amazing. But you live in Houston right now. So
I do.
So what led you from Australia to the States?
It was LNG. And the fact that globally LNG and energy was moving to the US. So you could see it unfolding. It was where we wanted to be and just a great place to live. So we moved across coming up 5 years ago now. We love it. My kids are aspirational Americans. So we're here to stay. And just generally commute back and forth to Louisiana. Our international office is in Houston. They're in Texas.
You were there at the Post Oak Hotel a couple weeks ago when Lane Kiffin was there.
Okay, I was.
We'll venture there in a second because I want to talk some sports with you too. By the way, so what do you miss most about Australia?
Do you know, Louisiana and Australia have a lot of things in common. They're very sort of outdoor oriented, a lot of sports, a lot of activity. I mean, I miss my family, my friends. You can't replace them that easily. But there's actually more in common than you'd think. I mean, we love barbecue and food and all those sorts of great things. But the beaches are pretty special, I have to say.
Yeah, I could probably get that. What about the wine? Are you a wine drinker?
I won't pass up a wine, definitely.
Same.
Great
okay.
wine,
yeah.
for sure. Although I was at a wine event last night for work and discovered a lot of great US wines. So I'm just on a new wine journey.
I completely understand that.
Yeah.
You're a sports fan?
I am.
Winter Olympics fan?
Yeah.
Okay.
Lindsey Vonn, yep.
How about that?
I know. She's so aspirational. I've got an 11-year-old daughter. She is such a wonderful role model.
I mean, she went to ski without an ACL.
Phenomenal.
I know there's some people are talking because of the injury that happened subsequent, her decision to make. That's just incredible.
It is. And within 24 hours of surgery, she's posting about the journey and a positive tinge on, this didn't go my way. I tried to chase a dream and, I'm going to keep going on things. She's amazing.
There are 53 Australians competing in the Winter Olympics. Is there a sport or an athlete specifically that you're going to be honing in on?
Oh, I
it's
have
okay
to
if
say,
not.
Australia, Winter Olympics isn't our strong suit, generally speaking. I have to say we're more of a Summer Olympics.
Same for the U.S.
Yeah, exactly. But no, I think generally looking at the Winter Olympics, I mean, watching the bobsledding, always love that. That's such good fun. The downhill skiing, the snowboarding, it's phenomenal. It's really great.
You were an elite athlete as well.
I would not say I was an elite athlete.
Don't be
I
modest.
enjoyed
This is
sports.
not the time for modesty.
No.
So you were a rower?
I was a rower.
All right, so I don't know all the terminology, but where on the boat would you have been? Do we call it a boat?
Yeah, sure. I was on the bow.
Okay.
So we're on a quad or an 8. So up the bow, not big enough for up front, but great fun. Really enjoyed it.
You got to give me some story here. So the wildest event you ever participated in. Anybody ever fall out the boat?
Yeah, and particularly in single sculls, people would fall out all the time. I had on a single scull once a shark kind of nip at our oar, which was petrifying at a rowing camp. I know.
How
old
old
about
were you?
sport. Sports teaches you resilience. I must have been 17, 18.
17? You got a shark coming after your oar?
Well, yeah. I mean, it wasn't like a Jaws moment, but it was pretty damn scary.
I mean, Sarah, it's a shark. Yeah, that would be terrified. I'd never get in that water again. Oh, my God.
Yeah.
I would assume, though, your sort of love of sport, though, helps with this LSU partnership?
It does. I mean, I'm a diehard fan. I think Australians generally, we love sport. You generally will find sports you love through school, and you'll play basically until your body doesn't let you anymore. So you'll play it through into your 40s, 50s. But there's nothing like American sports and college sports over here. I mean, I used to love I'd go to anything in Australia in terms of sporting matches and really enjoy it, but it is next level over here. And I mean, LSU, it then takes it another level again. So it's pretty easy to fall in love.
There's a lot to love about Louisiana and culture here, no doubt. I saw, I think we had the photo, you were with Speaker Johnson in D.C. A week ago. You were there for D.C. Mardi Gras? There it is right there.
That's right, yeah.
You were there for D.C. Mardi Gras?
Yep.
Give me a thought. How did it go?
Do you know, everybody both briefed me and forewarned me about how big this week would be. Firstly, it was amazing in terms of you have everyone in one place that's really furthering the interests of Louisiana, and they're so excited about it with a bit of Louisiana cultural flair on top. It was, I mean, I wish we could do that. I probably couldn't do it every week, to be fair. It took me a while to recover, but every month it'd be fantastic.
Have you done Mardi Gras proper?
Not proper yet.
Okay.
Yep, it's on my bucket list.
Just a piece of advice. Stay hydrated.
Yeah. Okay.
Find a balcony if you can.
All right.
And somewhere close to a bathroom.
Okay. All right.
Because
3 tips.
At Mardi Gras, everyone wants to give you a libation. Nobody wants to let you pee. So make sure that you plan appropriately there.
All right.
That's probably the best advice I can give you, is just somewhere near a bathroom.
All right, that's the first half of Matt's conversation with Sarah Bairstow. Again, she is the president of Louisiana LNG for Woodside Energy, very integral in the jersey patch that is now going to be on all of LSU's jersey across 21 sports there at the university. We're going to grab a break right here. We'll come back. We'll bring you the second half of that conversation, diving much more deeper into Woodside Energy's relationship with Louisiana and how the jersey patch came to be. That's next here on AFR. Stick around.
AFR is brought to you by the Watermark Hotel and the Renaissance Hotel, 2 beautiful hotel properties in Baton Rouge, the Watermark downtown, the Renaissance Southtown right there on Bluebonnet. And when it comes to hosting your event, both the Watermark and the Renaissance are perfect. The Watermark is a gorgeous, elegant spot in downtown Baton Rouge. That wedding reception, that smaller gathering, that meeting space, they can do it. They've kept so much of the history and tradition of that iconic building while modernizing it. The Gregory is a great restaurant inside of the Watermark as well. And then, of course, the Renaissance Hotel, Southtown, right there on Bluebonnet in Baton Rouge. It's more modern. It's a gorgeous, gorgeous hotel property at the Renaissance Hotel, where they have meeting space that can accommodate up to 500 people, 7,000 square foot of meeting space, perfectly located right off of Bluebonnet and I-10. It's the Watermark and the Renaissance Hotels in Baton Rouge.
After further review.
These ice cubes could have been a thankless bed for an all-you-can-eat salad bar. But instead, they cradle and cool the crisp, refreshing Dos Equis. Nicely done, ice cubes.
Make Raising Cane's the first stop for your second line. Get extra saucy with a Cane's Doubloon for just $1 that scores you extra cane sauce through April 3rd with any purchase. Let the good times roll this Mardi Gras with Raising Cane's. One love.
Transform your living space with Lacoste & Young Remodeling and take your home from outdated to outstanding. Redefine your kitchen for the ultimate culinary experience or elevate your daily routine with a spa-worthy bathroom retreat. Our skilled team brings 3D modeling to life to ensure your vision becomes a reality. We believe luxury should be accessible and offer tailored solutions to fit your budget without compromising quality. So contact us today for a free estimate. Lacoste & Young Remodeling, providing perfect solutions for your dream home.
It's 2026 and you're thinking about your future. College, workforce, tech school? This could help clear it up for you. According to a 2025 Georgetown University study, ITI Technical College ranked as the #1 college in all of Louisiana for return on investment. So the better return on your dollar for your education begins here. Call us or visit us online to start your new career or to get the life that you've always wanted for your family. ITI Technical College. We're in the better life business.
I have no doubt that Our Lady of the Lake will keep me healthy. They make sure to do whatever they can in their power to make sure that we are 100%. They're constantly giving us resources, giving us advice on what to do. I think that just really helps us be the best players that we can be.
Sometimes you ignore the signs, even when they're right in front of you. Problem gambling isn't always easy to spot. Know the signs, set your limit. Learn more about healthy gambling habits by visiting us online or text or call for free, confidential help now.
Most roofers just replace your shingles. At Pelican, we diagnose your roof, digging deep down to find the root cause of your roof symptoms. Now call for me? Good. We don't ignore your roof's issues, we address them. Let's just take care of this right here. Helping your roof to become the best version of itself. Interesting that you would say that. How does that make you feel? So call Pelican Roofing for your free roof checkup today.
After further review, presented by Relief Windows. Windows, doors, siding, and oh, we do shutters too.
Let's talk about the connection with LSU. When did, so you have this massive project on your hand, literally a $17.5 billion facility that's going to be, operational in Southwest Louisiana. The rendering is there, Paul. If you want to pull that up, there's the rendering of it right there, which it looks beautiful to see. There it is. You have this on your plate. When did an opportunity with LSU first come to your desk?
It's a great question. So around the world, we always look to partner in the areas that we're investing in and working in. You really want to feel a part of the community and the culture and orient the outcomes not just about the economics, but about the people. So we have partnerships in Australia, in Mexico, etc., and we're looking for the right partner here in Louisiana. We've been talking about this with LSU for some time, and we had an opportunity to do, one sport. Do we want to put our logo on the field, the football? For us, when we looked at it, we really wanted to go bigger and broader. We wanted to have as much outreach as possible and find a program that allowed us to work and support student athletes. I mean, LSU is pretty impressive if you look at the graduation ratios for student athletes. I think it's over 90%. So that's great, supporting them through that journey. But then equally for LSU, it's such a part of Louisianan cultural sort of fabric, right? And how do we work with someone like LSU or a program like LSU in activating community programs and working with coaches and student athletes to do more than just athletics and more than just sort of the athletic events. So for us, it was a holistic package. And the more we spoke to LSU, the more we realized, I don't need to sell anybody on how phenomenal LSU is. We like doing big. LSU is big and there's no better. So that was clear to us. But it was about how do you get the right sort of sponsorship, partnership package and being able to be broad across all sports, as you say, and cascade it into actual community oriented outcomes as well was pretty special.
Would you mind digging a little deeper there? Because obviously I think it was interesting what you said. There was like a field sponsorship potentially at Tiger Stadium. There could have been a high profile, but as we mentioned a bit ago, that the jersey patches will be on all 21
That's right.
sport uniforms for the accredited sports. Why was that important to have that broad of a reach instead of maybe the one maybe most visible?
I mean, there are the more visible ones, right? Like
Sure.
the football, the baseball, etc., gymnastics. But there's shared values across all of those sort of sports, all 21, and equally male and female, right? The values that each of those athletes is really that LSU is asking them to prescribe to really resonated with us. We really think about excellence and discipline and respect, and so when we looked at it, we thought, why would we not go bigger and cover all male and female sports? and just make this holistic. So it made all the sense in the world to us.
Did something else that you all, I'm certain, had to be mindful of was that it took patience, because you can maybe walk me through the timeline, but the NCAA here only recently approved this, allowing the jersey patch sponsorships. But you've clearly been in conversations with LSU for a long time. As a matter of fact, the Woodside Energy patch was on the Mike the Tiger.
That's right.
And the practice jerseys during the fall. So at least fall, maybe even further back.
I know, and that's what made it so hard to keep it a secret, right? I was lucky enough to
Sure.
travel with the team and went for the first game up at Clemson, the other Tiger State, the other Death Valley, and saw the logo patch on the jersey of Mike the Tiger, as you say, and it was so exciting. All I wanted to do was talk about it, and kind of had to say, "Mom." But these things take time to evolve, and I think to get the right outcomes, and you want to do it the right way, so it's really supported. It just took time, but it was more than a 12-month journey, I'd say. But I think that just builds the suspense and the excitement around it.
So from the conception, would that have been around the time when you took the job with Woodside Energy? You were maybe right around then when you were first approached?
I would love to take credit entirely for this because
Sure.
I am the number one supporter. But it was actually our fantastic team at Woodside that had early conversations with LSU. So probably a couple of months before I joined.
Okay.
And then we signed up, I'm going to say maybe just before the summer or so last year. And then, of course, you need to go through the process. Getting the NCAA approval was obviously a big deal. So great to see that happen. And now it's fully out there. Great to talk about.
Was there ever a point where, as the process got delayed with the NCAA, where you all considered pivoting?
No, absolutely not. I mean, the folk at LSU are fantastic. I mean, they are so professional and so invested in the right partnerships. We had a conversation with them around, look, we get there's a delay. It's outside of your control. What can we keep doing together in the meantime? So, you started to see some of the Woodside branding on the football field. You saw it on some of the training jerseys, practice jerseys, etc. But no, there was never a shadow of a doubt around what we wanted to do.
We by the way, have you been to a game in Tiger Stadium yet?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let's go. Before this season, or was this your first season?
This was my first season. Last season.
What stood out most to you? Like when I say, all right, your Tiger Stadium experience, what's the first thing?
Do you know, I find this so hard to articulate to my friends and family in Australia. You felt the electricity, right? Like you felt that up in, the other Death Valley, the Clemson game, where there's still so much support for LSU. The band's amazing and just everywhere. It's an infectious form of enthusiasm. But then you take it to a home game, and I can't find the words. It is so moving in terms of just the experience and the passion and the buy-in that, you're really invested, right? Like emotionally you're invested, and the game ends, and no matter what the outcome is, you just can't wait for the next game.
Yeah. So did you know a lot about American football in Australia?
I did. I followed the NFL, but not as much college football. And now I must say I'm a college football fan.
Sure.
Number one.
That happens a lot.
But how does that happen? It's like instantaneous.
Which what you just described.
Yeah, I think it is.
Because when you go to a game and you become emotionally invested in, because it doesn't matter where you're from. With the NFL, a lot of times, and I'm sure you can relate if it's proper football or whatever, a lot of it is geographical.
Yep.
So if you're not from Louisiana, for example, it might be hard for people to be a New Orleans Saints fan. Like I was born in New Orleans, so that's a part of my fabric. Is I love the Saints and the Pelicans, and but it doesn't matter where you're from. If you have any association with LSU, you went there, your grandparents went there. You had family that was from. You don't even have to have gone to school there.
Yeah, exactly.
It just if you feel what you just described, right, that becomes infectious.
It does, and it grabs you.
And they don't ever let go.
Nope.
It's what makes college sports. I know Lane Kiffin always says just different, but it's true. Like that is the differentiator. So I'm glad you've been to Tiger Stadium before.
Yeah.
By the way, the season opener. You'll be there for the season opener. I have
Absolutely. Yep. Won't miss it.
That is going to be a scene.
Can you imagine? I am so excited.
What did you go to all the home games this past year, or just some?
I wish. No,
yeah.
I unfortunately have to travel a bit with my job, but
yeah,
every game I can get to, I'm there.
Imagine being the president of Louisiana LNG for Woodside Energy. Probably keeps you busy, but you got to be there for the Clemson opener.
Absolutely.
because I've been around this my whole life. First game of the Kiffin era, all the excitement around this team, a huge opponent like that coming in where LSU's going to be favored. Whatever you think you saw last year, just get ready, because that is going to be a total vibe. You got to meet Lane Kiffin.
I did, yeah.
So what was that? We saw on social media there was Lane had an event with several partners, corporate partners at Post Oak Hotel, which by the way is right by your office, correct?
Yeah, it was. You couldn't have painted it better. There was a big Woodside building right there in the backdrop. Great.
So we were there literally 2 weeks ago for the Bear Bryant Awards.
Oh, great,
I did my show at the Post Oak Hotel, like literally where you all were, which is gorgeous, by the way. It's a great spot. What are your impressions of Lane Kiffin?
I mean, he's a figure, right? I mean, he's so easy to talk to, which is surprising, but has not only a real authentic sort of sense of self, very open in what he shares and how he speaks, but the passion, he's a very considered and measured person, but the passion, you can really feel it when you speak to him. And I have to say, I was asking him about, coming season, how we're going to do, and I use it all the time now. He's like, I'm currently undefeated. I was like, right, that's where we're going. That's what coach is saying. We're there. We're undefeated next season.
I think he's primed for a pretty good one. Pretty good first season in Baton Rouge. And of course, when the Tigers do take the field against Clemson, they will be wearing their home whites, and they will have a Woodside Energy patch, just like this one. It's where we started. I told you we're going to circle back to it, so I want to. I think it is. Branding is so important. It's undeniable. And you can brand visually and auditorily and with slogans. And branding with a color also matters. Like LSU is purple and gold. Mm-hmm. Like that is their colors. You all at Woodside Energy, you're red and white. But this patch is purple and white so that it matches the uniform. Why were you willing to change your colors to do this?
So we haven't done that before. And you got to think too.
I believe you.
Woodside is equally. We're a big company, and we're around the world, and so branding is important. It's how people recognize our company, and everybody knows it as red and white. But that said, when you're entering into a partnership, you want to do the partnership the right way, right? Like we want to feel a part of LSU, and we want LSU and what we're doing for them to feel a part of Woodside. And so it was a pretty easy decision to say, if we have the privilege of being the first company to be able to put our logo on the LSU jersey, then we want to do it the right way. And we want to do it in a way that really demonstrates we're part of this culture, we believe in this program, and we're a part of the program. And so doing it in purple and white, for us, that was an easy decision. But we also hope it sets a bit of a precedent, right? Like you could just as a company say, we want to put a brand on something and we don't care what it means and we don't care how people receive it. We want it to be received as a cohesive sort of partnership. And we also hope people follow suit. Like, why not keep the purple and gold?
I love that so much. Paul, I don't know if you want to zoom in again, if you can, on there so people can see what it's going to look like. I mean, this, for many people, this is going to be their first look, Sarah. I mean, what they're looking at right now, and it looks so clean and so good. And I can't applaud that decision enough.
Thank you.
If you had wanted to, was there any thought of sticking with the red and white? Was that ever a consideration?
Not for a great deal of time. I mean, the first inclination is always do what you do, right?
Right.
But then when we looked at it, I mean, to be fair as well, like the LSU colors, they're pretty great colors.
Yeah.
So it was easy to get behind.
We've covered a lot of ground, and I want to be respectful of your time, but if you were to summarize, if someone asked you be it in LNG or in any walk of life, you're at a business conference and you speak and present often, and someone says, Sarah, why did this deal with LSU make sense for Woodside Energy? Like, what would you tell people?
I would say that on our own, we can make great economic outcomes happen. But the success of these projects, and this is a big move for us into Louisiana, building on that existing sort of offshore base, but we want to do more. We want to not only stay, we want to build and do more with society and the state itself. And so when we look at this partnership, it's really about people. How do you really resonate and form not only trust and maintain that trust, but excitement from the people around you? Because at the end of the day, these projects are impressive, but they're nothing without the people. So, the people that we want to come and work with us, and, the communities that we want to invest in, and the local businesses. We've just signed, I think, $720 million with local businesses in the last 9 months. It's these sorts of things where you want to speak to the people and you want to bring everyone along for the journey. And there is no better way than LSU.
That is perfectly said. Pretty good at what you do, I think. Sarah, this was our pleasure to have you here to walk through this and help make this historic announcement. And I think, when we talk about Louisiana, I've spent really my whole life here. Something I often say to people is, it doesn't matter if you're from here. The people here, if you wrap your arms around Louisiana and its culture, most importantly, because we're idiosyncratic here. Like, we're different. We talk different. We eat funny foods. We party a lot. It's different. But if you wrap your arms around Louisiana and embrace it and the culture and all the things that make us different that we're very proud of, and we will give you the biggest bear hug back and never let go. Yeah. And when I see Woodside Energy making a $17.5 billion investment in this state, and then on top of it, marrying these two brands, which is arguably the three letters are arguably the most important brand in this state. Job well done, really. A pretty remarkable thing to see all this come together. So congratulations on that.
Well, thank you. We're really excited.
As are, I'm sure, many people after hearing this conversation. Sarah Bairstow, she's the president of Louisiana LNG for Woodside Energy. Coming to a few. Oh, wait. Will it start with football, or will we have baseball jersey patches and softball jersey?
Fruit, or by taking it easy. Now the standard is set by the best of us, by those who work hard. Dig deeper. Give more. At Sunshine, we're proud to provide John Deere products that work hard for you, the standard bearers. Find the dealer nearest you at sunequip.com.
At Bayou Automotive, we believe in a sales process that puts you first. We want you to experience an easy purchase with clear pricing and great service. Let Bayou Ford and Bayou Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram be your trusted partners in finding your perfect vehicle. The crew at Bayou Automotive is going to do right by you.
When it comes to industrial construction, River Parish Contractors can do it all. Mechanical, structural, custom fabrication, specialized welding, and turnaround services. Strategically located in between Baton Rouge and New Orleans, we have the local team with the experience and commitment to safety to manage the most complex industrial projects. Period. Here's the deal. Partnering with us means your project is delivered on time, on budget, and most important, safely. River Parish Contractors, let's get building.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust is giving our customers the power to bank anywhere, anytime during this challenging event. And we're right there with you. Our mobile banking app is a smart way to manage your money and time. Gulf Coast Bank and Trust, the bank that cares about you.
If your office is experiencing performance issues like slow networks, jammed printers, or disappearing files, Advanced Office Systems may be right for you. With powerful IT solutions, print management, document imaging, and security systems, they help offices regain confidence naturally. Side effects may include uncontrollable efficiency, smoother workflows, and a sudden burst of office joy. Say goodbye to those emotional breakdowns in the supply closet and get back on track with Advanced Office Systems.
Transform your living space with Lacoste & Young Remodeling and take your home from outdated to outstanding. Redefine your kitchen for the ultimate culinary experience, or elevate your daily routine with a spa-worthy bathroom retreat. Our skilled team brings 3D modeling to life to ensure your vision becomes a reality. We believe luxury should be accessible and offer tailored solutions to fit your budget without compromising quality. So contact us today for a free estimate. Lacoste & Young Remodeling, providing perfect solutions for your dream home.
Looking for cleaner energy? Propane is energy for everyone. Propane water heaters are very cost efficient, and the savings are even greater with a tankless propane water heater. We all know that Louisiana propane is a safe and environmentally friendly fuel. So why not go green while you save some green? I'm Miss Louisiana, Gabrielle McLeod, and for more information.
After further review, presented by Relief Windows. Windows, doors, siding, and oh, we do shutters too.
All right, we're wrapping up hour number one here of AFR. Kind of went a little long there in the first segment, and the interview is going to squeeze us here a little bit at the end of the hour. But Good first hour, man. Great conversation there with Sarah Bairstow that Matt was able to have about the middle of last week. We kind of just had it in order to come play for you here on Monday when LSU announced. That's awesome. One other thing, as we said, those jersey patches will be on all LSU uniforms, but it'll start here in the fall with football. So once you get to men's basketball and then in the spring, you'll see it on the baseball jerseys and the softball jerseys and things of that nature. Speaking of baseball, we'll grab a break right here. We will hit you up with Sports Center at the top of the hour and talk to the LSU starting pitching staff next on AFR.
AFR.
Love telling you about our friends over at Duplessis Builders because they're going to build you a beautiful pool, build you a beautiful outdoor kitchen. They'll give you a 10-year workmanship warranty on their pool builds when the industry standard is 1. Let me say that slowly so you understand. Most pool builders, when they build your pool, they give you a 1-year warranty on their work. 1 year. Duplessis gives you a 10-year workmanship warranty. Because Derek is an engineer by trade. They take the time to do it right as they go through the process of the pool build. So they're building you something that is going to last, something beautiful that's going to last. You want to know why Duplessis Builders was named a top 50 pool builder in America by Pool & Spa Magazine? Meet with them one time, you'll get it. DuplessisBuilders.net. That beautiful pool, that outdoor kitchen, they can do it all for you. DuplessisBuilders.net.
These are the luckiest ice cubes in the world. They could have been a thankless bed for an all-you-can-eat salad bar. But instead, they've been called upon to cradle and cool a crisp, refreshing Dos Equis. Looks like the lucky just got luckier. Dos Equis.
At Bayou Automotive, we believe in a sales process that puts you first. We want you to experience an easy purchase with clear pricing and great service. Let Bayou Ford and Bayou Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram be your trusted partners in finding your perfect vehicle. The crew at Bayou Automotive is going to do right by you.
Hi, this is Beth Serena. Welcome to my pool. The first time I saw this beautiful pool, it exceeded every expectation that I had. They were able to get everything we wanted in this pool. It is a beautiful pool. We live out here, we eat out here, we watch TV out here. This is like our living room outside. We love this pool and everything about it. When we decided to build our pool, we called a great friend who is one of the best pool builders in the country in North Louisiana, and we said, who would you choose to build a pool in Baton Rouge? And without a hesitation, he told us Russell Pools. He said their history, tradition of great builds, great pools was unmatched. So of course, who did we call? Russell Pools. The advice I would give to anyone looking to build a pool is first call Russell Pools. They'll do an incredible job. It'll be incredibly organized. It'll be time efficient, and you will have your pool in no time.
My father, J.B. Falgu, had a vision of growth for First American Bank and the communities we serve. The bank's foundation was built on his legacy of compassion, loyalty, and dedication. Through his years of leadership, First American has prospered to heights even J.B. could not have imagined. I know my father would be extremely proud of the customer service and financial stability that First American provides to Southeast Louisiana. We continue to thrive because of the legacy of J.B. Falgu.
At Parrish, we take pride in building roofs that last because championships are built on commitment, not just on the floor of the court, but your home too.
Parrish Construction and Roofing. ParrishBuilt.com.
I'm Lawyer Locke Meredith. If you're battling an insurance company because of a wreck not your fault and they're not calling you back or being fair, whether you hire us at all, give us a call, 272-5555, or email LockeMeredith, Sean Fagan and Associates. You have nothing to lose.
Hello, I'm Collins Meredith. If you've been injured on the job, you'll likely have a workers' compensation claim, but you may also have a tort claim which opens up significant recovery rights not normally available for a work injury. If this is you, call us or come see us at Locke Meredith, Sean Fagan and Associates.
I'm
Christine Lisi. Nearly 4 years after acquiring Tyreek Hill in a blockbuster trade from the Chiefs, the Dolphins released the soon-to-be 32-year-old receiver. Hill, one of the NFL's most productive receivers a couple of years ago, missed most of last season with a dislocated knee and torn ACL. ESPN NFL analyst Mina Kimes.
There's a lot of questions around Hill right now. 32 years old, or going to be 32 next season, coming off of the ACL. Game is really predicated on elite speed, so there's questions about whether or not he'll be able to hit that speed moving forward as he ages, obviously. Brings some baggage off the field as well. He's not the right player for every team.
Hill's released one of a series of moves by new GM John Eric Sullivan to save significant salary cap space. The Dolphins still need to make a decision this offseason on quarterback Tua Tagovailoa. Browns hired Falcons defensive passing game coordinator Mike Rutenberg as their new defensive coordinator. Mike Trout told reporters he'd like to return to center field for the Angels this season. Also said he'll be skipping the World Baseball Classic because of insurance issues. He's been plagued by injuries the last 5 seasons.
Hey, it's Evan Cohen. Coming up Tuesday, the Cowboys intend to franchise tag George Pickens. I'll tell you why their best option is to trade him away. It's Unsportsmanlike, 6 a.m. Eastern, right here on ESPN Radio, ESPN2, and ESPNU.
Matt Moscona.
I'm very important.
After further review.
Say one more time.
After further review with Matt Moscona.
And here we go.
Live from the Raising Cane studio.
Let's rock!
Off and running, hour number 2. After further review here on a Lundy Gras edition presented by Relief Windows. Musso in for Moscona. Scone is back tomorrow. 1 hour in the books, man. Great conversation with Sarah Bairstow of Louisiana LNG for Woodside Energy. She's the president over there. We've already talked some baseball. We'll talk plenty more baseball throughout the show. Doug Thompson, LSU Sports Radio Network, former Tiger national champion pitcher. He'll be here at the bottom of this hour to recap the opening weekend and give us a scene setter for tonight's game against Kent State. Some Saints draft talk coming up here in about, call it 13, 14 minutes. Right now, we're going to talk about the LSU starting pitchers, but first, Matt's going to tell you about Shaw Bills.
Brought to you by Shaw Bills Tire and Auto Service, ShawBillsTire.com. 18 locations in South Louisiana. Find the location nearest you at ShawBillsTire.com. Bumper-to-bumper auto service and name brand tires at wholesale prices. They will always find a way to get you the best possible price for the best possible tires on the road. That's what they do at Shaw Bills. And when they get you in by selling you the best tires at the cheapest price possible, they're going to treat you like family, and they're going to treat you so good you're going to keep coming back year after year after year every time you need anything for your vehicle. Tires rotated, oil changed, check engine light on, brakes squeaking, whatever's wrong with your vehicle, bring it to Shaw Bills. Let them give it the once-over. And you can always schedule online, so it's convenient. ShawBillsTire.com. Find the location nearest you at ShawBillsTire.com. Shop tires online at ShawBillsTire.com. Be sure to ask about the Shaw Bills credit card as well, because you can save $50 off your first purchase when you use the Shaw Bills credit card only at Shaw Bills.
All right. Let's talk about the LSU starting rotation from the opening weekend against Milwaukee. We talked about it briefly in the first segment of the show, but I want to go deeper because this is a very important thing for LSU in 2026. When I did the first Moose of the Box podcast of the season, it was January the 12th, and it was just a quick little 3 things to watch as LSU goes through the preseason period. The number one thing out of my mouth was the starting rotation. You have to get that right. And I think the guys LSU has in it are the guys that give you the best chance to get it right and be your most dominant. Not to get it right and compete for a national championship, to get it right and be your most dominant. That is Casey Evans, Cooper Moore, William Schmidt in some order. You saw some good from Evans and Schmidt. You also saw some bad. You saw flawlessness basically from Cooper Moore. But ultimately, as my thing was for the entire weekend, you saw a lot to build on. Let's take it guy one by one, and we'll start on Friday with Casey Evans. Casey Evans for 3 innings was dominant. He recorded 9 outs, and 7 of them were strikeouts. He threw more strikes. That's one thing I wanted to see. And Casey Evans, struggles in true starts a year ago, it was a lot of walks. He walked 2. He threw 66% strikes. That's good. Like, that's really good. Now, what I will say is the 2 walks were very bad. The first one, he fell behind 3-1. The second one, he was ahead 1-2 and lost the guy and walked him. That can't happen. He also had a hit batter in there to lead off the 4th, which was his struggle inning. But through 3 innings, he was really good. He just wasn't super efficient. You had deep counts. It wasn't necessarily 3 ball counts, but you saw guys foul pitches off. He had a little struggle getting to that put-away pitch. It's not that he struggled with the put-away pitch. Goodness gracious, he struck out 7. He just had a little struggle getting to that put-away pitch. But the stuff looked really good. The changeup, he finished plenty of guys off with that. You saw him finish with the fastball as well. He didn't have great feel of the slider or the curveball. And that led to some of the inefficiencies, in my opinion, just watching Kason Evans in that spot. And because there was inefficiency, he ends up at 75 pitches through 3 1/3. And I believe that really hurt him in trying to pitch out of that 4th inning. Because quite honestly, when he began the 4th inning, he hit the first batter, which that's a no-no. Like, that is not good. But after that, it was really a little bit of bad luck. The next hitter up was Horn, and he hit one up the middle that bounced about 6 times. It was just in the right spot, right out of Steven Milam's range, and it snuck through. And then Tate Schmidt came up and had a bunt single. Tip your hat. The guy bunted it in the right spot. The LSU even, they didn't review the play at first there, but you end up with the bases loaded off of a hit batter, which is a no-no, and then a dribbler through the infield and a bunt single. Nobody out in the inning. The problem there is you have to be able to limit the damage and pitch around it. LSU had a 2-0 lead at that point. If you give up 2 in that spot, fine. But ultimately what happened is you had the first hard hit ball of the inning that drove in 1. The bases remained loaded, and then you have the 2 RBI double, and at that point you've lost the lead. Evans is shaken up, and I do believe, again, look, that's the second trip through the lineup because the pitch count was so high, because it took him a little bit longer to get to that out pitch, because he didn't have a great feel for the slider or the curveball. He was really limited in what he could throw, and the lack of efficiency, they knew what was coming, and that was a pretty scrappy lineup. Tip your hat to them. They got some hits. But what you have to see in that spot is Kason Evans reach back, grab something extra, and be able to lengthen that outing and pitch around that trouble. Even if you just give up the 2 runs. Say you give up that single, okay, that scores 1. Maybe you get an RBI ground out or a ground ball that ends up in a double play, and that pushes 1 more across, you're able to get out of it. That's the perfect scenario. Much easier said than done. I understand that, and I just told you why I think it went the way that it did. So you need more efficiency there. And that is a big thing in going from reliever to starter, even though you saw him be a long reliever a year ago for LSU. They feel they have brought him along very well. I tend to agree. I think Kason Evans can do this. I do. Because you saw him have success with it from time to time a year ago. But it's a different mindset, and you're going to have to get to that out pitch quicker, which will allow for more efficiency, which I think allows for you to have a better success or a better chance at pitching out of that 4th inning. The stuff is elite. We know that. And that's ultimately why he will be able to have success in this role, I do believe. And again, they feel like they have brought him along well, and there's going to be a leash here. The good news is he's got time. Okay? You saw LSU's bullpen be awesome for the majority of the weekend, where you could just go to guy after guy after guy, and they could do different things, whether it was long relief, matchups, couple pitches here, whatever it was. You have the depth to do that. Now, I will tell you, I don't believe that is sustainable over the course of a 56-game season. I don't. I think when you get into the postseason, That could wane on you a little bit. You've got a lot of innings on those guys. You have to have starters, in my opinion, to win at the highest level in college baseball, get you deep into games. Casey Evans is capable of that, but it is a work in progress. There is stuff to build on, and it is those 3 innings and learning from maybe not being as efficient and having to have the struggles that you did in that 4th inning. We'll see how it goes. Cooper Moore was phenomenal. He was sensational. He checked every box that he had checked from the fall through the preseason when he was your best pitcher. Loved the fastball velocity. It was a little stronger than I thought. The changeup is as filthy as we had all heard about. And candidly, that was the first time I got to watch Cooper Moore in person because I missed every single one of his scrimmage starts. And I was blown away. You're looking at 5 pitches for a strike. He had them completely off balance. And again, the fastball got up to 94, really sat 91, 93, but got up to 94 at times. And outside of that changeup, I loved the curveball that he had. Sat in the mid-70s. He could flip it over easy for a strike. He threw all 5 pitches for a strike, as a matter of fact. The slider's got a nice firmness to it. The way he's able to mix, he can get anybody out in the country. That guy is not coming out of your rotation, and I think he could pitch in any spot for you. You would prefer him to be Saturday or Sunday in that rotation, Saturday or Sunday, just because it is a different look, because it's 5 pitches for strikes and not the overpowering stuff that you would see from a Casey Evans, from a William Schmidt, pick anyone else you want. It's the different look. Not having a lefty in the rotation right now is buoyed by Cooper Moore being such a different look than the first 2 guys. He threw 80% strikes, y'all. That is ridiculous. 80% strikes. Get out. What are you talking about? That's unheard of. He made 1 bad pitch. Kid hit it out of the park. Kind of ambushed him. That's going to happen. But you feel real good about that rotation piece. Now you can build around him. Because that's a guy who knows how to pitch. And because of that, he can get anyone in the country out. And he'll have success throughout LSU season in the SEC. Cooper Moore, I thought, was just fantastic. Loved the ability to finish with the changeup and the fastball. And he pitched backwards a lot in that game, too, on Saturday. You saw him plenty start guys with the off speed. He had a great feel for it and really, really had Milwaukee in that lineup in his back pocket the entire game. William Schmidt. Some good, some bad, a lot to build on. The first inning, he gives up the homer. A guy ambushed a fastball. Loved the bounce back from him after that when you saw him not allow anything else. That was very easily a spot he could get shaken up with. Didn't. In the 3rd inning, loads the bases. LSU had given him a lead at that point, 3-1. He loads the bases. Was a strike away from pitching out of it without allowing a run. Gives up the double, but ultimately comes back and ends that 3rd inning with a pop-up to shortstop, gets ahead 0-2, gets the pop-up, and you limit the damage and you keep the game tied. The guy ambushed that fastball in the 1st inning. From that point on, William Schmidt never gave up the lead. That's massive. That's my takeaway, is he was able to limit the damage, and not only that, come back out in the 4th and give you a shutdown 0 and end his outing on a high note for confidence. There's stuff to build on. There has to be more strikes. 91 pitches, 50-something strikes, that's not good enough. 3 walks, that number has to come down. It's going to happen when he can land the breaking balls consistently, both the curve and the slider. That was the same conversation we had about him a year ago. We're having that conversation again here. But you did see growth in him being able to limit damage, pitch out of situations, which he was not able to do a year ago because in the conference, he walked 11 guys in 2 innings. The stuff, you don't get more elite stuff than you have in William Schmidt. Efficiency with him is going to be a thing, and more consistency in the strike zone is going to be a thing. But ultimately, some good, some bad, a lot to build on there. There's a canvas that you feel pretty good about. So, in short, you feel great about Cooper Moore, and you can build around him in your rotation. And right now, you're going to work to do that with Evans and Schmidt and getting them more efficient and able to pitch out of jams and elongate their starts. Another weekend, it'll be some tougher competition with 4 Power 4 opponents out there in Jacksonville. Okay, we're going to grab a break. We will come back on the other side. It's After Further Review here, presented by Relief Windows. Saints, wide receivers a big target for them in the draft, but does it have to be in the first round? We'll talk about that next here on AFR.
AFR.
If you fill up Tiger Stadium 15 times, that'd be roughly 1.5 million people. That's how many realtors there are in the United States. Darren James ranked number 14 in the country when it comes to the numbers of homes sold. That's Wall Street Journal's Real Trends list. Think about what I just said. Fill up Tiger Stadium 15 times, and of all those people, Darren James ranked number 14. You need to get to a closing table. You need to sell your home fast for the most amount of money. You need the absolute best customer service experience with constant communication and results. Well, you need Darren James. So, call Darren. 335-7666, 335-7666, 335-7666. That's Darren's cell. Or go to agent225.com, agent225.com.
Think real estate, think Darren James.
Okay, and what is our goal?
Less than 110.
That's right, less than 110.
We teach. We laugh. We pray.
Dear Heavenly Father, please guide our hands during this procedure.
Hey, how are we feeling today?
I'm feeling better. We heal.
You look better.
Happy birthday.
Thanks.
We do all things
I got you. No way.
with great love. FMOL Health. This is how we healthcare.
Dr. Johnson, that's my guy. He gonna tell me when I need to do better. He gonna tell me when I need to slow down. And I trust him 100%. The medical care that I receive at LSU and with Our Lady of the Lake is top tier. I really trust what they telling me, and they keep me right.
If your office is experiencing performance issues like slow networks, jammed printers, or disappearing files, Advanced Office Systems may be right for you. With powerful IT solutions, print management, document imaging, and security systems, they help offices regain confidence naturally. Side effects may include uncontrollable efficiency, smoother workflows, and a sudden burst of office joy. Say goodbye to those emotional breakdowns in the supply closet and get back on track with Advanced Office Systems.
Men, age is just a number. Don't let it dictate how you feel. Goodwood Men's Sexual Wellness has anti-aging services that can help you look and feel your best. Visit yourgoodwood.com and discover a renewed sense of vitality.
When you can't rely on technology, you can rely on Mountain Cold Refreshment.
Dave's back on.
Coors Light. Choose chill.
After Further Review, presented by Relief Windows. Windows, doors, siding, and oh, we do shutters too.
the Lake, championship health partner of LSU Athletics. Our Lady of the Lake and LSU, as we say, together we roar. Part of the Franciscan Missionaries of Our Lady Health System. And, I love telling you about Our Lady of the Lake because whenever we talk about health care, Our Lady of the Lake understands the two things primarily that people want are access and convenience. And they knock that out of the park. Whether it be at the Regional Medical Center, if it's the Lake After Hours, if it's any of the specialty services that you may need, heart, stroke, cancer, pediatrics, you want the best. You want Our Lady of the Lake. You can learn more about the Championship Health Partnership, OLOLRMC.com/LSU, OLOLRMC.com/LSU. Our Lady of the Lake and LSU, together we roar.
NFL draft fast approaching here. Look, the scouting combine gets underway next week. You've hit mid-February, scouting combine, you'll have pro days, and then boom, you're at the NFL draft come late April. For the New Orleans Saints, you've seen a variety of different things that people are projecting. Wide receiver is a huge need, and you have seen the Saints be mocked to take Carnell Tate or Jordan Tyson at 8 overall. If it's not one of those two, it's been Jeremiah Love. Wide receiver is a very interesting position in the draft because it is one where you can get top-flight talent who can be your franchise guys right there in the first round, but also find great value later on day 2 and day 3 in the NFL draft. Not every position is like that. Ross Jackson over at LouisianaSports.net today has a great piece up looking at those top guys like Tyson and Tate, but also players that you might see taken on day 2 and how this thing kind of goes for the New Orleans Saints. There's a couple ways to look at that. Say they take Jeremiah Love 8 overall. Okay, well, then you're going to be looking for value at wide receiver unless you trade back into the first round for one, which I don't want to say I can't imagine them doing that. Mickey Loomis would absolutely do that. But that might not be your best path forward with a wide receiver because of some of the options we're about to go through. Also, it was interesting. We had Scott Shanley on the show a week ago and asked him kind of about wide receiver in the draft. Is it Chris Olave and a receiver, or is it Chris Olave or receiver? And he said probably one. You pay Olave and then you go somewhere else in the draft. I'm not there because when I look at the New Orleans Saints, I see 2 proven pass catchers returning on this team, and that's Chris Olave and Juwan Johnson. That's it. I'm not putting Devon Vele in proven pass catcher range yet. He came here hurt, wasn't super productive in Denver, came here hurt, didn't really break out until they finally found a way to get him on the field after they traded Rashid Shaheed, had some nice moments, but then got injured again and missed the rest of the season. So outside of Olave and Juwan Johnson, it's a lot of Kevin Austin Jr. and Dante Pettis and Mason Tipton, and you don't feel great about that. Let's be honest. At least you shouldn't feel great about that. Not to say those guys didn't have big moments for you down the stretch in that win streak. They did, but is that sustainable over the course of the whole season? The history of those guys' careers would tell you no. So if you're going to pay Chris Olave, go ahead. But I need receivers in the draft again, and I'll tell you, I'll take multiple. If the New Orleans Saints want to draft Jordan Tyson or Carnell Tate, or maybe a guy like Mekhi Lemon there in the first round, sure, do it. And then go get yourself one on day 2 or day 3 as well. And some of those options are really, really intriguing. The first one to look at, Ross mentions, is Chris Brazzell from Tennessee. Chris Brazzell II is a giant target for one. 6'5", 200 pounds. Love that. He led the SEC in receiving this season at Tennessee. Started his career at Tulane, played 2 years there for the Green Wave in Uptown, went to the Vols, was a rotational guy his first year, and then 62 receptions, over 1,000 yards, led the SEC in receiving. 9 touchdowns. Huge target. Love that. That's a guy you can get on day 2 that I think would be massive for this team, potentially. But wait, there's more. Ross goes on and talks about the need for yard after catch and deep threats. Remember, Shaheed was a great yard after catch guy. as was he a deep threat. The two guys he points here, both should be day 2 selections, maybe even a day 3 for a guy like Skylar Bell. Skylar Bell's from Utah. He is one of the most dynamic yard after catch guys in this draft. This is a guy at Utah, 6 foot, 180, at UConn, 6 foot, 185 pounds, caught 101 passes. So for one, he's sure-handed. He leads the 26 wide receiver class in this draft in yards after catch. Of his 101 receptions, half of them were for first downs. About 13 yards per reception, over 830 yak yards, 50 first down catches. That's a guy you can get later in this draft who's got good size and would absolutely check every box for you. Zachariah Branch, kind of in that same vein. His one season at Georgia, caught 81 passes. Sure-handed. Great yards after catch. You're looking at an average per reception of 10 yards. That's a first down every time. And it tracks 81 catches, 811 yards. He also could give you something in the return game as well. Both very elusive, very speedy players. Ross does note, if KC Concepcion were to fall to the second round or second day, he would be a home run. He's mocked late first round just about everywhere, but let's say you get the wild hair, you want to trade back into the first round for a receiver because you take Jeremiah Love. That could be a great option. Talk about give you something in the return game as well. The field stretchers is where this gets really interesting. Because you look at a guy that Ross mentions in Brennan Thompson from Mississippi State. He was second in the SEC in receiving, by the way. Speed undeniable. Not the biggest guy, but he's very agile and can beat press coverage that way. You're looking at 5'9", 170 pounds. But if you go back and you look at this, I had that backwards. He was the leading receiver in terms of yards in the SEC. Brazel was second. Either way, they're the top two guys. 18.5 yards per reception. That is big play, stretch the field guy. His long on the season was 58. His long for his career, 63. So Brennan Thompson is a guy, day 2, day 3, not going in the first round, where you could get awesome value. Remember, you found Rashid Shaheed, who is now one of the best stretch the field guys in the NFL and return specialists, as an undrafted rookie. There's value all over the place. The last two guys are two guys from Indiana, and they kind of fall into the sure-handed safety blankets. Elijah Surratt, Omar Cooper, both very good, both big targets, both great route runners, and impressive catch radiuses from both of them as well. Elijah Surratt, man, that's a guy that really stands out. He scored 15 touchdowns for that championship Indiana team, 6'2", 209. So again, big target. You feel really good about that potentially there. But those are just some names. You look, you go, okay, maybe you do take Jeremiah Love. There is plenty of value to be had at wide receiver in this draft in different categories that fit Saints' needs. And for me, like I said, I want you to take a wide receiver with 8. Carnell Tate, Jordan Tyson, Mekhi Lemon from USC. And then go draft one of these guys too on day 2. You know, yeah, you can get yourself hopefully another corner, deep edge rusher class, all of that. There needs to be multiple receivers taken in this draft for the New Orleans Saints. Those are some names just to keep an eye on. Go check out Ross's full piece at LouisianaSports.net. Everything is free. Ross does a great job. It's like one of 3 articles he's put out today. He's just a machine, and we always enjoy his content and having him on the show. So y'all go to LouisianaSports.net, read Ross's full piece on the receivers in this draft. We're going to grab a break. We'll come back on the other side. Doug Thompson, former Tiger national champion pitcher. He will join us also of the LSU Sports Radio Network. We'll recap the weekend. Duggar was on the call for all the games, and he'll be on the call tonight for Kent State. Get a brief scene setter of that one. That's next here on AFR, presented by Relief Windows.
AFR.
Get Gordon and get it done. Gordon McKernan, Injury Attorneys. If you've been injured and it's not your fault, do what injured people in Louisiana have done for more than 30 years. Call Gordon McKernan, Injury Attorneys. 888-8888. It's all eights. 888-8888. I don't even need to give you the area code because no matter where you are in the state, it doesn't matter. Just dial 888-8888 for Gordon McKernan, Injury Attorneys. Gordon does an awesome job, man. He's a great person. They've been so invested in our communities with all the charitable and service work that they do. They give back into the communities that they represent, no matter what time of year. If it's the bike giveaway for kids around Christmas time, if it's the laptop giveaway around back to school time, if it's the charitable work they do during October for Breast Cancer Awareness Month, they're always involved in the community. We tell you all the time, of course, about the G team and what Gordon's done with NIL and the opportunities that he's afforded student athletes. Just a great, great community partner. If you've been injured, you need representation, go to getgordon.com. That's getgordon.com. Get Gordon and get it done.
Make Raising Cane's the first stop for your second line. Get extra saucy with a Cane's doubloon for just $1 that scores you extra cane sauce through April 3rd with any purchase. Let the good times roll this Mardi Gras with Raising Cane's. One love.
When it comes to choosing energy for your family and your home, make the smart choice with natural gas. You can count on efficient and affordable natural gas to keep you comfortable and reduce your environmental impact to help protect our planet. Together, we're fueling our energy future. Atmos Energy.
I definitely trust the lake to take care of my body. Being the smallest person on the court, I just have to be in a lot better shape than everyone else, just being quicker and faster. Just having that trust on and off the court is going to help you win a lot more games.
Hi, I'm Mitchell Meredith with Locke Meredith Sean Fagan & Associates. We take great pride in educating our clients about their rights. Whether you're injured at work or while you drive, call our office at 272-5555. Knowledge is power, and you should know your rights after an injury.
Hi, I'm Sean Fagan of Locke Meredith Sean Fagan & Associates. When insurance companies have been unfair, we've never been afraid to go to trial. Fighting hard to protect your rights, we never settle a case out of convenience. We only settle when it's right for you. Whether you hire us at all, give us a call.
At Ochsner, we know healing is a team sport. That's why we've partnered with world-renowned orthopedic surgeon Dr. James Andrews to create the Ochsner Andrews Orthopedics and Sports Medicine Institute. Whether you're a professional athlete or a weekend warrior, our team of specialists are dedicated to getting you back in the game. So whatever your reasons are for reaching your personal best, we've only got one: you. Ochsner Andrews Institute. Long live you.
These are the luckiest ice cubes in the world. They could have been a thankless bed for an all-you-can-eat salad bar. But instead, they've been called upon to cradle and cool a crisp, refreshing Dos Equis. Looks like the lucky just got luckier. Dos Equis.
After further review, presented by Relief Windows. Windows, doors, siding, and oh, we do shutters too.
Rolling along here after further review on Lundy Gras, presented by Relief Windows. Windows, doors, siding. Tigers sweep Milwaukee to open the season. They got Kent State coming to the box tonight, coming off of their own sweep. Doug Thompson, he's on the call for it, as he was for all three games of the series. You can hear him there on the LSU Sports Radio Network with Chris Blair, but this weekend it was Patrick Wright. On Twitter at DT9Tigers. Former LSU great Doug Thompson joins the show now. Dougger, how are you?
Doing
great, Musso. How you doing, buddy?
I'm doing fantastic, man. It's the best time of the year. It's finally here. It was a long 7 months. Tigers got out there, won 3 games, did it in some different ways, and I'm excited to break it down with you here. And then, of course, get the little brief thumbnail of tonight's matchup. Starting with this weekend, I'd be remiss if I just didn't start with the starting pitchers, Casey Evans, Cooper Moore, and William Schmidt. I'll kind of let you take them in whatever order. I think it's interesting because you have Schmidt and Evans really trying to build on last season, and Cooper Moore just looked phenomenal. I mean, your takeaways is a guy who's pitched in the bullpen and pitched as a starting pitcher. What you saw from those arms?
Yeah, 2 guys. I mean, they didn't have quality starts, but obviously pitched well enough to win. They showed some flashes of dominance. That's obviously Casey Evans and William Schmidt. I mean, obviously their stuff is plenty good enough to win, and they showed that. I mean, between those 2 guys, had close to 20 strikeouts. I mean, but they made some mistakes, and they were a little erratic, and I'm sure all that will clean up. Like, first time out, rarely will you have, your best outing the first time out. Now, Cooper Moore threw his changeup 40% of the time. He threw 28 changeups for 25 strikes, which is off the charts. Like, it's just off the charts. How good his changeup is. He's got 3 or 4 or 5 other pitches that he can throw in there for a strike. He's as polished as they come. He's going to be a lot of fun to watch pitch this year.
You said the issues that you kind of saw with Evans and Schmidt, correct, but how do you go about fixing that? When you're a guy like William Schmidt who didn't get to throw a bunch of innings at the highest level a year ago, Casey Evans obviously did, but was mainly a reliever. You go into that starting role, and it is different with the efficiency there that you're looking for. How do you go about correcting a few of the things that ailed them?
Well, I mean, they're so good now, and they have so much information now to kind of hone in on exactly where they can get better, where they made mistakes. And they'll talk about those things. A lot of it's talking. A lot of it's like, mentally thinking it through and getting coached up. But, I mean, there might be some tweaks here or there in the bullpen. But, again, I mean, they both struck out buku batters and were plenty good enough to win. Maybe too many pitches, perhaps. Maybe they didn't get ahead enough. I think the first 3 innings when on Friday night, he was ahead most of the time. And he had, 7 strikeouts in the first 3 innings, something like that. Yep. So, I think they're all great. I think they all have great arms. They all have plenty good enough stuff. There's just going to be some look, when you start 15, 16, 18 games over the course of a year, right, like, you're going to go out there with your best stuff, like, 6 of those times. Like, it's not like you don't go out there with your best stuff every time, right? And that's kind of what we saw. Like Cooper Moore, I don't know that he's got much better stuff than that, but if he does, I can't wait to see it. And the other 2, that there's better stuff out there. Like, it took William Schmidt a little bit, it looked like, to get comfortable with his breaking ball. And Casey Evans, that one weird inning. I mean, how many times do you see 6 batters reach base in a row?
Yeah.
He hits the guy, and then he throws a beautiful changeup, like filthy, like probably 6 inches, 8 inches off the plate, and the kid hits it off the cap right over the third baseman's head for a double. It was kind of one of those weird don't panic outings because, I mean, it was just a weird thing. I don't anticipate Casey Evans allowing 6, 7, 8 base runners to reach consecutively again this season.
The way I kind of termed it, Duggar, was some good, some bad. Overall, a lot to build on going forward for those guys. And, I mean, I'm excited to see him. I'm with you. I have full faith that Casey Evans will harness this role and be a force at the front of LSU's rotation. But because Schmidt, Evans maybe didn't get as deep into the game as you would like week 1, you got to see a lot of bullpen arms, and that's a strength of this team. I mean, man, the way they mixed and matched, I thought Jay and Nate Yeski had a great plan, especially on Saturday when you needed the big out. You got the big out, whether it was Dax Dothy with that slider or Grant Fontenot coming in at the end, just throwing gas past that young man. Just kind of an overall feel of what you got from the bullpen, because you saw 13 total pitchers for LSU this weekend.
Yeah, don't forget about Sheehan.
Yeah.
I mean, like, he was 99. I mean, no big deal, right? There's some big arms out there. There's plenty plenty of good stuff right now. Can you pitch when it means something? Can you pitch when the pressure's on the line? That's where it usually boils down, the 15 kids down to 7 or 8 kids. And if you have 7 or 8 kids that can go out there and get outs, you can win in Omaha, you can win in this league, you can win anywhere, right? So that's what's left, is to see if these kids from these other schools that haven't quite, I think the last time Sheehan had pitched was in front of 325 people, something like that. In some of these cases, like I can remember vividly my first time on the mound against Baylor, and I started an inning. Like, it wasn't coming in with the bases loaded or anything. I just started my own inning. And it was tough for me to get through the warm-ups because I was my knees were like literally weak and my heart was pounding out of my chest and I couldn't catch my breath, right? Like, I don't know, like, but I had 230 junior college innings under my belt.
Yeah.
I wasn't a spring chicken, but I can't imagine some of these guys that had limited time in front of limited people, and then they've been injured for a year and they come back to this. That's tough. That's really hard to get out there and pitch in front of all those people for the first time. But that gets easier too, right? So overall, I thought it was a pretty dominant performance. Obviously, 49 strikeouts, the most since 1992, which is, almost 40 years ago. Yeah. Crazy. I think they only had 2 walks going into the Sunday game. They walked a few on Sunday to get up to 8 walks or so. So, but still, dominant arms. And then, it's hard to tell offensively because some of the front 3 pitchers for those guys, actually, they didn't have great stuff. They didn't have great arms, but they executed well. They located well. And that's as old as time itself, right? How many times do you hear pitchers say it doesn't matter how hard you throw, it matters how well you throw it, where you want to throw it. And I thought they did that pretty good. So it's kind of hard to tell. Now, Kent State tonight should be a little bit tougher of a matchup, tougher of a team, right? So we'll see what's going on tonight when the Tigers face off against Kent State.
Yeah, the Golden Flashes swept Southeastern and Hammond to open up their season. I want to get to that, but I do want to ask about Gavin Guidry. What did you see from him? Because, Doug, I think him returning from injury is potentially the biggest boost that this pitching staff and this team has this season. And, man, it was electric.
No, it really was. And, he wears number 8, right? I mean, That's a big deal for these guys. And I think it was obviously huge for Gavin Guidry and his family. But for LSU, like for that team, obviously he means something to those players. Obviously, he's a leader in that clubhouse. So to see him come out there and not only pitch, but deal, like 5 out of 6 punch-outs, like all that emotion and energy brings to the table, he was blessing them all the way to the dugout, right? I mean, he was excited, and that's good. That's good energy for your team from a guy like Gavin Guidry. So to answer your question, I thought it was big on many levels that Gavin Guidry went out there and performed so well.
Which newcomer impressed you the most, transfer or freshman, this weekend?
Which newcomer impressed me the most? Let me check out the lineup real quick. And, of course, York's got a chance to be one of the most fun players to ever watch at LSU. Like, every time the kid takes a cut, the entire Alec Box Stadium, when he misses. So he's just a big guy. I think he's pretty charismatic. I think he's going to be a lot of fun this year. So I think he stuck out to a lot of folks, I believe. I know Dardar is not necessarily new, but he is back. And I really like the way that he swung the bat. I mean, I like the way that he played. I mean, he played like a guy that wants to play more. I really enjoy this early part of the season because, all those guys are really competing. I mean, they're all fighting for time. And to do that, they have to produce when they get their opportunities. Speaking of producing when they get the opportunity, how about our local boy, Jack Rucker, 2 for 2 on the weekend in his 2 plate appearances? I mean, that's getting it done, right? I mean, that's a big deal for a freshman. Bunt hit or not, it was a beautiful bunt and a double down the left field line the other way. But that's a lot of pressure to deal with. And to see a kid like that just from right down the street have some success was a lot of fun.
Great hustle from Jack Rucker all weekend, man. He plays the game the right way. I was very impressed with him and happy that he got as many opportunities as he did. All right, Doug, let's talk about tonight briefly, and I'll let you go. What are you expecting to see on the mound? Of course, you're looking for another guy to get a start here, 4 games in 4 days, and just overall a thought on LSU and Kent State here tonight to round out the first weekend to play.
Yeah, I'm thinking it's probably going to be Jaden Newt tonight. And, I'm sure he probably has 75, maybe 80 pitches or so. But there's still some arms down there that probably need to get some work. So I'm just getting to the box, so I'm not really sure who those arms will be. But I do know that I think Jaden Newt will be the guy to get the ball to start it off.
Doug Thompson, LSU Sports Radio Network, of course, former Tiger pitcher, former Tiger great, and national champion on that 97 team. Happy to join us here today. Get him on Twitter at DT9Tigers. Doug, we appreciate the time and the insight, man. Have a great call tonight.
Thank you, Matt. Y'all have a good one. Thank you for having me.
Of course, man. Anytime. That is Doug Thompson. Catch him on the call tonight, Eagle 98.1. He'll be beside the voice of the Tigers, Chris Blair, unless there's a coach's show tonight, which there might be, in which case it would be Patrick Wright. But either way, Doug will be on the call. Big one tonight for LSU against Kent State as they look to close out a 4-game week, 4-0. We have to grab a break, but first, a word from Matt on South Point Volkswagen.
Let me remind you about South Point Volkswagen and southpointvw.com. New and certified pre-owned in Baton Rouge and online at southpointvw.com, southpointvw.com. Man, they always have great deals. The thing I love to tell you about the most with Volkswagen is the style, feel, performance of luxury. Great German engineering, manufactured in the US of A, all the 9 different IIHS top safety picks, so you get the safest vehicles on the road. But my goodness, at South Point, they can make a deal. When you're Louisiana's largest volume Volkswagen dealer, you have better selection, more inventory, and you can give better prices. So, right now, how about $279 a month for 36 months on 2026 Taos? Under $300 a month for a brand new Volkswagen, the compact SUV. $3,000 off 2026 Atlas. Check them out at South Point Volkswagen. Airline just north of Highland. South Point Volkswagen. What's your direction?
All right, we'll get you a look at the LSU lineup. That'll be posted here probably within the next 15 minutes or so, normally about an hour before first pitch. I'm with Doug. I do think it'll be Jaden Newt on the bump to start the game. Makes a lot of sense. When you look at the arms that are left for LSU that haven't pitched yet, he is the only one with starting experience. So either it would be him or somebody making their first career start. Kind of figured going into the weekend it would either be him or Cooper Williams if they didn't have to use Williams. Of course, they used Williams in the first game of the series, so he threw almost 50 pitches, so I don't think you'll see him tonight. But it'll be interesting to see how they piece that staff together because you haven't seen Reagan Ricken pitch yet. You haven't seen Connor Binge pitch yet. Zion Theophilus is another guy who could make an LSU debut tonight out of the bullpen. And, of course, Jaden Newt. So, and, again, there's guys you could bring back from this weekend as well, guys who pitched on, Friday and Saturday. Could potentially give you something here. But it'll be on display. And, again, a tougher test with Kent State than you probably saw with Milwaukee, but a game that LSU should win. Again, more thoughts on that. We'll give you a look at the lineup when it is posted. For now, we will grab a break, come back on the other side. It is a Lundy Girl edition of AFR presented by Relief Windows. We'll wrap up hour 2 next. Stick around.
AFR.
Let's Rev, R-E-V, letsrev.com, letsrev.com. You ever just get super frustrated at super slow internet? Oh, we've all been there, man. The little spinning wheel, slamming your keyboard or your mouse, pounding the desk because it's so frustrating. Your internet's so slow. Storm comes, knocks the power out, knocks the internet out, knocks the cable out. You're so frustrated. Maybe that's just me because I get kind of angry about things. But it's annoying. Nobody wants that to happen. Rev can help. They're local and 5 gigs, lightning fast speeds, and backed by an all-fiber network. Fiber. It's buried under the ground. You don't have to worry about a storm coming knocking the power lines down. Let's Rev. Listen, more than 70,000 Louisiana homeowners and business owners trust Rev. You should as well. REV. 90 years of local experience. LetsRev.com. LetsRev.com.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust is giving our customers the power to bank anywhere, anytime during this challenging event. And we're right there with you. Our mobile banking app is a smart way to manage your money and time. Gulf Coast Bank and Trust, the bank that cares about you.
At Bayou Automotive, we believe in a sales process that puts you first. We want you to experience an easy purchase with clear pricing and great service. Let Bayou Ford and Bayou Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram be your trusted partners in finding your perfect vehicle. The crew at Bayou Automotive is going to do right by you.
If your office is experiencing performance issues like slow networks, jammed printers, or disappearing files, Advanced Office Systems may be right for you. With powerful IT solutions, print management, document imaging, and security systems, they help offices regain confidence naturally. Side effects may include uncontrollable efficiency, smoother workflows, and a sudden burst of office joy. Say goodbye to those emotional breakdowns in the supply closet and get back on track with Advanced Office Systems.
Transform your living space with Lacoste & Young Remodeling and take your home from outdated to outstanding. Redefine your kitchen for the ultimate culinary experience or elevate your daily routine with a spa-worthy bathroom retreat. Our skilled team brings 3D modeling to life to ensure your vision becomes a reality. We believe luxury should be accessible and offer tailored solutions to fit your budget without compromising quality. So contact us today for a free estimate. Lacoste & Young Remodeling, providing perfect solutions for your dream home.
Hi, this is Beth Serena. Welcome to my pool. The first time I saw this beautiful pool, it exceeded every expectation that I had. They were able to get everything we wanted in this pool. It is a beautiful pool. We live out here, we eat out here, we watch TV out here. This is like our living room outside. We love this pool and everything about it. When we decided to build our pool, we called a great friend who is one of the best pool builders in the country in North Louisiana, and we said, who would you choose to build a pool in Baton Rouge? And without a hesitation, he told us Russell Pools. He said their history, tradition of great builds, great pools was unmatched. So of course, who did we call? Russell Pools. The advice I would give to anyone looking to build a pool is first call Russell Pools. They'll do an incredible job. It'll be incredibly organized. It'll be time efficient, and you will have your pool in no time.
Lock Meredith, Sean Fagan and Associates has won for our clients over $175 million over the decades. But our greatest success is our clients who have chosen and trusted us to help them. Whether you hire us at all, give us a call. You've got nothing to lose.
Hi, I'm Sean Fagan. If you get injured, you could be staring at medical bills, repair costs, and lost income. Life can be turned upside down. At Lock Meredith, Sean Fagan and Associates, we'll work.
After further review, presented by Relief Windows. Windows, doors, siding, and oh, we do shutters too.
We're brought to you by Supper Club. You book your reservation, supperclubbtr.com, supperclubbtr.com. One of the things about Supper Club that I love is if you want to go to Supper Club and be a baller, you can do it. You want to go to Supper Club and order a $5,000 bottle of Chateau Lafite Rothschild, you can do it. You want to go have $400 shots of cognac, you can do it. You can have experiences at Supper Club that usually are reserved for Las Vegas and New York and Paris and Abu Dhabi. Like, that's here in Baton Rouge. But the thing you got to remember as well, if you want to go to Supper Club and have the best steak of your life and have a few appetizers, a dessert, bottle of wine, you can do it as affordably as any other restaurant in town. But the experience at Supper Club is unmatched. Introduced open seating at the bar, first come, first serve. So if you knock off of work, you want to head by Supper Club, you can walk in without a reservation, see if you can grab a bar stool or a table by the bar as well. Have a great dinner, maybe cocktail, close some business. Book your reservation, supperclubbtr.com, supperclubbtr.com.
All right, closing out hour number 2. We missed it in the first hour, so we'll go ahead and catch up with it right now. Let's go around the SEC.
Around the SEC, bringing you the biggest news from the nation's best conference. The Arkansas Razorbacks.
Arkansas has announced their spring football dates. They will open up the first season under Ryan Silverfield on the Sunday, March the 15th. That will be the first spring practice. They will wrap up spring drills Saturday, April the 25th with their annual spring game. It'll be played in Reynolds Razorback Stadium.
The Georgia Bulldogs.
Georgia has hired former Georgia defensive back Maurice Smith as a defensive analyst. Matt Zenitz was first to report that over the weekend. Shared a spot on the team in an unofficial capacity in 2025. Now will be an analyst in 26. Spent one season as a player at Georgia, earned defensive MVP honors in that one season.
The South Carolina Gamecocks.
South Carolina also adding a former player to their staff. That's former quarterback and wide receiver Luke Doty. He will now be a defensive assistant working with defensive backs coach Torian Gray. Played 47 games for the Gamecocks in his time in Columbia.
The Kentucky Wildcats.
And Kentucky landed a commitment from 2027 safety Laren Westmoreland, 3-star safety out of Louisville. Chose the Wildcats over Louisville, South Carolina, and West Virginia. The number 782 overall prospect, number 82 safety in the nation for 2027, according to Rivals. There you have it. That is around the SEC. This is after further review. Here on a Monday, presented by Relief Windows. Windows, doors, sidings. Oh, yeah, they do shutters, too. Check them out. ReliefWindows.com. We got Sports Center coming up for you right here. We will hit the top of the hour and talk about a change to Lane Kiffin's staff to lead off third hour of the show next.
After further review.
Jewelry, lmfj.com, lmfj.com for Lee Michaels Fine Jewelry. They're the best. If you are, gentlemen, thinking about popping the question and you're thinking about where am I going to go buy that diamond, I want you to consider this. There are places that will sell you man-made lab diamonds, but what are you buying? It's according to its makeup and characteristics, sure, diamond. But is it going to hold its value? Like, is that the way you want to say, I love you, I want to spend the rest of my life with you? Go to Lee Michaels. Go to Lee Michaels. Walk in the door. Experience the thing I talk about all the time, which is the Lee Michaels experience. It's Lee Michaels Fine Jewelry with 10 locations. Baton Rouge, 2 locations in Baton Rouge. New Orleans, Lafayette, Shreveport, Mississippi, Texas as well. 10 locations across 3 states. It's Lee Michaels Fine Jewelry. Thrill her, gentlemen. Thrill her with a gift in the red box from Lee Michaels Fine Jewelry.
Make Raising Cane's the first stop for your second line. Get extra saucy with a Cane's doubloon for just $1 that scores you extra cane sauce through April 3rd with any purchase. Let the good times roll this Mardi Gras with Raising Cane's. One love.
Championships are won with preparation, and so are great roofs.
Coach is tough on us about preparation, and Paris brings that same championship mindset. Do business with someone you know.
Paris Construction and Roofing.
Dr. Johnson, that's my guy. He gonna tell me when I need to do better. He gonna tell me when I need to slow down. And I trust him 100%. The medical care that I received at LSU and with Our Lady of the Lake is top tier. I really trust what they telling me, and they keep me right.
ED, low T, or simply seeking to optimize your health and performance? Goodwood Men's Sexual Wellness offers a range of discreet services to address your specific needs. We empower men to reclaim their health and confidence. Visit yourgoodwood.com.
I'm Lawyer Locke Meredith. We are honored and humbled to receive from our clients in Google. Based on 5-star client reviews, the designation of our law firm is highly recommended. Whether you hire us at all, please give us a call, 272-5555. You have nothing to lose.
Hi, I'm Mitchell Meredith. Injuries happen when you least expect them to, making your life more complicated. At Locke Meredith, Sean Fagan and Associates, we know this, and we strive to help each of our clients during these times. Whether you hire us at all, give us a call at 272-5555.
When it comes to industrial construction, River Parish Contractors can do it all. Mechanical, structural, custom fabrication, specialized welding, and turnaround services. Strategically located in between Baton Rouge and New Orleans, we have the local team with the experience and commitment to safety to manage the most complex industrial projects. Period. Here's the deal. Partnering with us means your project is delivered on time, on budget, and most important, safely. River Parish Contractors, let's get building.
I'm Gabrielle McLeod on behalf of the Louisiana Propane Dealers. I have spent hundreds of hours preparing for scholarship competitions. That preparation paid off when I won the Fitness and Talent Awards along with the title of Miss Louisiana. The Louisiana Propane Dealers are also pretty talented, and want you to be prepared for when the power goes out. Visit LouisianaPropane.com to find out about propane generators and other safety tips. Louisiana Propane, it truly is the fuel for our future.
These ice cubes could have been a thankless bed for an all-you-can-eat salad bar. But instead, they cradle and cool the crisp, refreshing Dos Equis. Nicely done, ice cubes.
Tyreek Hill took to Instagram thanking the organization, his teammates, and the fans in Miami. He also vowed his career will continue. Hill missed most of last season with a dislocated knee and torn ACL. Hill's release, one of a series of moves made by new Miami GM John Eric Sullivan, saving the team significant salary cap space. A must-see college hoops showdown loaded with ramifications for the number 1 seeds for the upcoming NCAA tournament. Number 2 Houston at number 6 Iowa State. The backcourts likely determine this matchup, believes ESPN's Seth Greenberg.
Kingston Flemings for Houston is a dynamic guard who can get in the lane, make plays, finish at the rim, shoots the three. They play through him late in games. On the other hand, Iowa State's got an elite on-ball defender in Killian Torres. These are both defensive teams that are connected defensively. They're physical defensively. They take you out of what you want to do. And the backcourt pressure of Iowa State, can they disrupt Houston? And then can Houston disrupt Iowa State?
Cougar Cyclones, 9 Eastern ESPN. The U.S. Women's Olympic Hockey team beat Sweden 5-0, advanced to the gold medal game, and Thursday's meeting with Canada.
ESPN Radio is presented by Progressive Insurance, making it easy to save money. When you bundle your auto policy with home, condo, or renters, you'll earn a multi-policy discount. Easy to bundle, easy to save. Visit Progressive.com.
Matt Moscona.
I'm very important.
After further review.
Say it one more time.
After further review with Matt Moscona.
And here we go.
Live from the Raising Cane studio.
Let's rock!
Hour number 3 rolling along here after further review. Happy Lundy Gras. Musso in for Moscona here today. Scone is back tomorrow for Mardi Gras. And he'll carry you the rest of the way, obviously, throughout the week here on AFR. We're presented by Relief Windows. Happy to have you here along for the ride, man. It's been a fast-moving 2 hours of the show, and it's been a great first 2 hours of the show as well. Talked a lot of baseball. Doug Thompson was here. Sarah Bairstow, the president, Louisiana LNG for Woodside Energy, was here to talk about LSU's New Jersey patches and just the relationship between LSU, Louisiana, and Woodside Energy. A great conversation. If you missed it, you can find it on all of our social medias and on YouTube. After further review on demand, YouTube and your podcast. Of course, that's brought to you by Brett Goff. And again, it's the full interviews on Twitter. It's on Instagram. It's Facebook. It's everywhere. Great conversation. I do recommend you go check that out. I want to talk a little LSU football here, but first, Matt's going to talk to you about River Parish Contractors.
Hey, we're brought to you by River Parish Contractors. Man, really excited to welcome River Parish Contractors onto AFR. Got to pop down, meet the folks over there. And I'm going to tell you, what an impressive operation they run over at River Parish Contractors. You know, they opened up back in October of 2001. And their big differentiation, you know, is that they work here and they focus on you. Industrial fabrication and construction experts. They got a core group of employees of about 300 employees. And that's bigger than the next company. So they keep them working locally, you know, where you can go to your kids' ball games. Their workers don't have to travel. You're home at night for dinner. It's River Parish Contractors, rpcontractors.com. That's the website if you want to learn more, rpcontractors.com, rpcontractors.com for River Parish Contractors. Learn more and call, ask for Ronnie, rpcontractors.com, rpcontractors.com.
So I'm sitting out at the box on Friday watching LSU play Milwaukee opening day and getting an alert on the phone that LSU safeties coach Jake Olson is leaving for a position with the Washington Commanders in the NFL. First, congratulations to Jake Olson. That's a very awesome opportunity to go from college position coach and now make the move to the NFL. Maybe that's something he had aspirations for. Clearly it was. He took the job. It's kind of an opportunity you just really can't pass up there. And, there's a lot of other things that are demanding around college athletics now with NIL and recruiting and all the transfer portal and all of those things that you don't have to deal with in the league. So congratulations to Jake Olson. That is a very awesome opportunity there up in D.C. with the Commanders. And hopefully that's just, a bounce back year for them, and he can be part of that with Jaden Daniels leading the charge on the offensive side. As it pertains to LSU, this kind of stinks. Jake Olson returned to LSU with Blake Baker back in 2024, leaving Missouri. Two guys that are very familiar with each other, trust each other an awful lot, know what the other's thinking in a sense. And you saw Jake Olson do some great work with the safety position at LSU, where, man, they had to piece that thing together year one, and it wasn't great on the back end. You had the injury to Jordan Gilbert that he was playing through. You just didn't really have great talent opposite that at that position there in 24. And look, it was your worst group on the team. We know that. But, man, you look at what Jake Olson took from 24 and turned it into in 2025 with this safety group, and he deserves bouquets. Now, granted, LSU addressed that position very heavily in the transfer portal and brought in talent that could play at this level. But that unit went from being your worst to arguably your best on the defensive side of the ball in 2025. They produced time and time again. A.J. Halsey came over from Houston, turned into a great player under Jake Olson. The guy who's going to hear his name called in the draft. Tamarcus Cooley as well was fantastic. They were a huge part of the reason this defense surged into the top 25 in total defense as it did. One area you really saw them excel, turnover forced. Turnovers being forced. LSU intercepted 17 passes a year ago. 7 of them came from the safety position. A.J. Halsey was tied for the team lead with 3. Halsey also forced a fumble. So you're looking at, of the some 20 turnovers that LSU forced, 8 of those came from your safety spot. Halsey led your team in tackles. Tamarcus Cooley was number 4 on the team. Those two players were great, and that's not to mention the growth you saw from a guy like Deshaun Spears from his freshman year, where he played sparingly early in the season, and then this year really took on a much larger role, and you could see the development there. A lot of credit for that also goes to Jake Olson. The other reason this is a bummer is because, man, I really wanted to see him coach Ty Benefield. I mean, let's just be honest. Ty Benefield comes over the portal for LSU this season and looks like he is going to just slide right into a role similar to like A.J. Halsey, where he just comes in and he is immediately, bam, an impact player for this team. That's a number 2 safety in the portal. It's a top 10, top 15 player in the portal overall. He depending on which service you subscribe to, that would have been a lot of fun to watch him develop and take his game to the next level, which was already fantastic. A very sure tackler, much like an A.J. Halsey, that LSU could have brought in, and you could have watched Jake Olson kind of mold him in that role. Gets to Tamarcus Cooley, Deshaun Spears, although Spears will probably move to the star position and be coached mainly by Blake Baker. But, you get Tamarcus Cooley back another year. I was really looking forward, really, to that. LSU will be fine. They will make a hire. Lane Kiffin and Blake Baker, you trust them fully to go out and do that. It's a great opportunity for Jake Olson. And selfishly, man, I was just really excited to watch him coach Ty Benefield and Tamarcus Cooley another season and see those two guys really grow in, because that position was absolutely on the ascent. And the other thing I love about having that safeties coach is it just allows Corey Raymond to fully focus in on the cornerback position and recruit that with his fullest. And, I mean, you look at the strides you saw DJ Pickett make, obviously P.J. Woodland, all guys that Corey recruited here, and that's great. And we'll see. Corey can obviously also help out, in that safety room if need be. But who LSU replaces Jake Olson with, it'll be very interesting to watch. It's something that we'll obviously have to keep an eye on as they go through that. But you have the utmost confidence, at least I do, in Lane Kiffin and Blake Baker to make that hire and get it right. And whoever inherits it is going to have a lot of talent in that room, and chief among them is TaMarcus Cooley and Ty Benefield. So we'll keep you posted on that, obviously, as news comes about LSU's targets and guys to, who's going to end up ultimately getting the job and what their qualifications bring. But good luck to Jake Olson as he moves on to a defensive staff position with the Washington Commanders in the NFL. LSU looks now to fill their vacant safeties coach position on Lane Kiffin's inaugural staff. All right, it is After Further Review here on Monday. We're presented by Relief Windows, windows, doors, siding, reliefwindows.com. They do shutters too. Don't forget about that. We're going to grab a break, come back, see if we got a lineup posted yet for LSU and Kent State. We'll talk baseball one way or another. The lineup is not posted yet, which it isn't. We'll talk about some of the newcomers that you saw come out and really have breakout performances over the first weekend or so for LSU. That's next. On the other side, it's AFR.
After Further Review.
Brought to you by River City's 1 Hour Air, where they're always on time or you don't pay a dime. 752-001-752-0001, where they're always on time or you don't pay a dime. I love sharing 5-star Google reviews. Here's one from Ricky Gomez, who said Chris, his technician, was very professional and knowledgeable during the HVAC evaluation. He provided details and recommendations in a clear and concise manner. That's one of the things that always stands out. If you're having an issue with your AC or your heater, and River City's 1 Hour Air sends out a technician for an evaluation, they're going to explain your options to you. And that may sound simple, but none of it, I don't know anything about an HVAC, neither do you. Let's be honest. So whenever they go get up in your attic or they go look at your HVAC unit on the side of your house and they come talk to you, they're going to explain very clearly what's happening and your options to remedy it. It's River City's 1 Hour Air. Look for the big yellow vans and trucks with the giant clock on the side. 752-0001.
When it comes to industrial construction, River Parish contractors can do it all. Mechanical, structural, custom fabrication, specialized welding, and turnaround services. Strategically located in between Baton Rouge and New Orleans, we have the local team with the experience and commitment to safety to manage the most complex industrial projects. Period. Here's the deal. Partnering with us means your project is delivered on time, on budget, and most important, safely. River Parish Contractors, let's get building.
Looking for cleaner energy? Propane is energy for everyone. And when you're cooking with clean, affordable propane, you're cooking with gas. In the wintertime, nothing heats a home like Louisiana propane. And when you need hot water, propane's got you covered. Oh, and you won't regret that propane generator when the power goes out. I'm Miss Louisiana, Gabrielle McLeod, and to find more information and to find a propane dealer near you, visit louisianapropane.com.
At Bayou Automotive, we believe in a sales process that puts you first. We want you to experience an easy purchase with clear pricing and great service. Let Bayou Ford and Bayou Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram be your trusted partners in finding your perfect vehicle. The crew at Bayou Automotive is going to do right by you.
Dr. Johnson, that's my guy. He gonna tell me when I need to do better. He gonna tell me when I need to slow down. And I trust him 100%. The medical care that I receive at LSU and with Our Lady of the Lake is top tier. I really trust what they telling me, and they keep me right.
I'm lawyer Collins Locke Meredith. Among the most important factors to consider when you're hiring an injury attorney is trust. You trust your attorney will put your interest first, treat you with respect, fairness, and honesty. You trust them to be there for you when you need them. At Locke Meredith, Sean Fagan & Associates, thousands of clients have trusted us to represent them, and for good reasons. Please visit us at LockeMeredith.com to learn more, and whether you hire us at all, give us a call at 272-5555. You have nothing to lose.
After a decade of working in private duty nursing, I know how hard it can be to find compassionate care for the ones that you love the most. So I started Decision Critical, a premier concierge nursing agency, so we can take care of you wherever you are. Our highly skilled nurses provide exceptional care from the comfort of your own home with personalized packages for short-term, long-term, or even around-the-clock care. Visit us at decisioncriticalbr.com and give us a call today to get started.
Sometimes you ignore the signs, even when they're right in front of you. Problem gambling isn't always easy to spot. Know the signs. Set your limit. Learn more about healthy gambling.
After further review, presented by Relief Windows. Windows, doors, siding, and we do shutters too.
Brought to you by Evermore. Drink Evermore, EVAMOR, evermore.com, evermore.com. For elite athletes, for someone who just wants a healthier lifestyle. Maybe you're a parent, you want a healthier option for your children. Evermore is a great option. I would highly encourage you, bottom line, if you're drinking tap water, don't. Bare minimum, filter your tap water. But the best option is Evermore. This is natural artesian water. It's underground aquifers on the north shore of Lake Pontchartrain, right there in Covington. They dug a well into that aquifer, and I mean, it's literally thousands of years in the making. That's why they call it Mother Nature's masterpiece. That's what they're pulling out of the ground. The only filtration is take like the sediment from the ground out of the water, and it goes right into the bottle. So it never touches air until you uncap it, take that first delicious sip. Learn more where you can buy it, great retailers or online, EVAMOR, evermore.com.
All right, the starting lineup is now posted for LSU. They will take on Kent State tonight at the box. In about 45 minutes or so, they'll throw out the first pitch. We can run through that here for you. Derek Curiel will lead off, play center field. That checks a lot of, checks out, makes sense. Behind him, Stephen Milam will move up to the number 2 hole here, play shortstop. Jake Brown will be in the 3 hole, playing in right field. Cade Arambidi is back behind the plate again. This will be his 3rd out of 4 game that he will start at catcher, and he'll hit cleanup. Zach York, big first baseman, will hit in the 5 hole. Seth Dardar gets a start again at second base. He will hit 6th. In the bottom third of your lineup, Trent Caraway is at 3rd in the 7 hole. Tanner Reeves is in the lineup in the 8 hole, playing left field. More on that momentarily. And Mason Braun will get another start at the DH spot, his 2nd DH start so far of the season, and he will hit 9th. And it is Jaden Newt on the bump for LSU. So again, Curiel, Milam, Brown, Arambidi, York, Dardar, Caraway, Reeves in left, Mason Braun DHing, hitting 9th, Jaden Newt on the mound. Jaden Newt getting the start. This makes an awful lot of sense. We kind of talked about it with Doug a little bit. Newt is a guy who is the only pitcher you have left that has starting experience that you haven't thrown. So it was kind of an easy pencil in there for him, unless they were going to give somebody their very first start of the year or of their career. Newt was big for LSU a season ago. That's a guy who threw over 32 innings. He had 20 appearances and started 5 games. And for Jaden Newt, it really clicked for him kind of about mid-April in a midweek start, where you'll remember Newt was highly touted coming out of high school in California, a guy who was a top 100 draft selection, but he got hurt, so he ends up at LSU, misses his entire first season. His 2nd year is ready to go from a health standpoint, not necessarily quite there yet at a mental maturity type standpoint. Had 1 appearance, didn't go great for him. But a season ago, he took on a much bigger role. And, man, it finally really clicked for him, as I said, in mid-April in a midweek start, where you saw the fastball back up to 97. The splitter that he has is absolutely filthy, and he pitched some massive innings for LSU down the stretch, both in relief and in a starting role. The start he had against Ole Miss in the SEC tournament, he was very, very good that day. Obviously, it didn't go LSU's way. They actually got shut out, but that was much more on the offense than anything else. Newt was fantastic that day against a top 16 seed in the NCAA tournament in Ole Miss. He was absolutely huge for LSU in that 2nd game against Arkansas in the College World Series. He came in relief of Cowan, threw up a shutdown 0 for you, got you back of the dugout, and LSU would ultimately end up, taking a lead and winning that baseball game. So you saw him just in a multitude of roles, a lot of innings returning, and we talked to Doug Thompson earlier, who's going to be in the call tonight. He said probably look for about 75, 80 pitches potentially from a guy like Jaden Newt. LSU has plenty ready to go behind him. We mentioned Reagan Ricken, who could make his LSU debut tonight. You haven't seen him. You haven't seen DJ Primo. You have not seen Danny Lockenmeyer. You have not seen Zion Theophilus. Connor Benj has not pitched. Ethan Plog threw minimal pitches in his outing, and that was on Saturday. He could come back and give you a little bit of something here on Monday. Gavin Guidry hasn't thrown since Friday, and he was under 30 pitches. If you need something there from Guidry, you can obviously get that, and you could just go down the list. I mean, you look you look at a guy like Dax Dothy. He threw 9 pitches. Zach Cowan did throw 25. That's a lot. We'll see if they want to bring him back. But Grant Fontenot threw just 2. You are set up from a pitching standpoint tonight against Kent State. There should be no problem there for LSU. With the lineup, it is a bit more interesting. At the top of the order, let me just say this. I love the way LSU has structured the lineup so far this season, because they're getting their veteran guys at the top and really allowing some newcomers to ease into this more at the bottom of the order. I mean, a guy like Trent Caraway, they've made some changes to his swing. He's got all the potential in the world from the right side of the plate. Changes in his swing as he gets acclimated to that. You hit him down there in the 7 hole, and that's a great spot. Mason Braun, being able to being able to ease that young freshman in who has had such a great lead up to the season. It was great to see him get a couple hits in Sunday's game. Having him in the 9 hole, that's a big spot. The interesting change is Tanner Reeves going to the outfield. Tanner Reeves, first of all, has played just about anywhere you could want him to in junior college. He played some outfield in JUCO. You've seen him play second and third predominantly, at LSU. But that's a guy who's extremely versatile and can run a little bit. You might ask, though, hey, Musso, why is he playing left field? Where's Chris Stanfield, who didn't play on Sunday? Jay Johnson said after the game Sunday, that Stanfield bruised his left hand on that slide into home plate on Saturday. He could be available for Monday. Obviously, he will not be. So that's what's keeping Stanfield out. It is not long term. Nothing to really worry about if that's going to happen. You would rather that happen here in the first weekend of the season, rather a key SEC series, like when you're heading to Vanderbilt, or when you're heading to Starkville, or when Georgia's coming to you play Georgia at away, or when Florida is coming to the box, or something of that nature. So nothing really to worry about there. Give him an extra day off, and you could see him back in the lineup on Wednesday when the Tigers host Nichols for that afternoon game. But that's what's going on with Stanfield, so you'll see Reeves get into that spot. Other than that, man, it's a pretty straightforward lineup. Like I said, I like the fact that they've Curiel, Milam, Brown at the top, veteran guys. Then you get to Aaron Beatty, but Aaron Beatty had such a great weekend. Kate Aaron Beatty, he was as advertised from what we had all been hyping up from the fall and preseason scrimmages. Aaron Beatty hit 500. He had his first home run of the season, a 3-run shot on Friday. He drove in 4, had a couple doubles. He was awesome. And what was so massive is, of his 12 at-bats, 2 strikeouts. That's huge, because the swing and miss was a deal. That was a problem for Kate Aaron Beatty a year ago as he adjusted to college baseball, even against the lower-level competition. To see him go out there over the course of 3 games and 3 starts, 2 at catcher, 1 at DH, turn in a 500 average, drive in runs, hit the homer, and only strike out twice, that's very, very encouraging. And oh, by the way, he was a brick wall behind the plate. He was awesome in those 2 starts. The defense was, he kind of set the tone right off the top. The first out of the first game of the year was a strikeout from Casey Evans on a ball in the dirt that Aaron Beatty blocked up, kept in front of him, and threw the guy out at first base. And that really just set the tone for him this weekend. Omar Cerna, by the way, was also amazing behind the plate. That was great to see because his defense is going to have to come along a little bit, but he was fantastic when he got his opportunity. So all around, a great weekend for Cade Aaron Beatty behind the plate and at the plate. And if he's going to do that this year, that's a guy you're going to see hit at the top of the order a lot. So hats off to Cade Aaron Beatty. LSU, they will take on Kent State. Kent State, the Golden Flashes, big offensive weekend for them. By the way, they are about to just hit a ridiculous gauntlet. So they played Southeastern in Hammond, America here over the weekend. They'll make the drive over to Baton Rouge. From Baton Rouge, they will go play 3 in Knoxville at Tennessee. Probably not going to go great for the Golden Flashes against the Vols. And from there, they go to Dayton, Ohio to play Wright State, who is one of the best mid-majors in college baseball and just took a game off of Georgia this past weekend in Athens. It could be a rough 5 games potentially here for Kent State, but that is a team that scored over 30 runs against Southeastern. They hit 9 home runs, so there is some pop in the bats here for Kent State. Sawyer Solitera is their leading hitter. He had 571 over the weekend against the Lions, including 3 of the 9 home runs. The guy hit a third of their home runs. And it's deep. I mean, so far through you're looking at a guy over 500, a guy over 400, and 4 more over 400 in this lineup. They hit 311 as a club this weekend and scored, as I said, 33 runs against the Lions. On the mound, they were pretty good too. We'll have to wait and see who they announce as a starting pitcher. In fact, I can look that up actually real quick and see if they have announced that already. Pardon me. Let's see. The Golden Flashes. It looks like they have not posted a lineup yet, so we don't know who they're going to start just quite yet. But overall, from a pitching standpoint, I mean, they were great. They struck out 28 and 27 innings, pitched to a 3.3 ERA. This should be a better test for LSU than Milwaukee was. That being said, LSU should win this ball game tonight. And I'm very much looking forward to seeing Jaden Newt on the bump in what could be a really tone-setting outing for him coming this season. Of course, we'll have a full recap for you of that game, obviously tomorrow on AFR when Matt is back. Let you hear from Jay Johnson, all of those types of things. Tigers and Golden Flashes, they get underway in about 34 minutes or so from the box. You can hear that on our sister station, Eagle 98.1. We need to grab a break, but first, a word from Matt about Rouse's.
We're brought to you by Rouse's, the official supermarket of the New Orleans Saints. Rouse's.com, Rouse's.com. Rolled into Rouse's earlier today. Went to go buy Evermore, and I love they have an Asian bowl that they make. It's Asian, fried rice with you can get chicken or beef. I got the beef, fried rice, and vegetables bowl. So many great options. They have sushi made daily. They got the salad bar. They get so many different options. The hot bar, the hot and boiled seafood kiosk as well. Grab dinner for the entire family. Everybody can get something different. If you want lunch, dinner, it's great every day. They got tons of king cakes, as we talk about all the time. You want to ship a king cake. Got a couple more weeks until Mardi Gras, so ship your king cake anywhere in the lower 48. If you got a family member or a coworker or a client, something you want to give them a little taste of Carnival, go to Rouse's.com, Rouse's.com. Ship that king cake anywhere in the continental 48. It's Rouse's, the official supermarket of the New Orleans Saints. Rouse's.com, Rouse's.com. Rouse's, this feels like home.
All right, we're going to grab a break here, come back on the other side. We still got to get to Otterlocks to wrap up the show here. Man, there's a massive one in college basketball tonight. Otter hopefully has a play on that for us there. But we'll get all of his bets to close out the show here. When we come back, I do want to touch on a little bit more LSU baseball. The newcomers, transfers, and freshmen. You saw a lot of them make their debuts, and a lot of them stood out. I want to give you a few that really jumped off the page to me. We'll do that next here on AFR.
AFR.
We're brought to you by Goodwood Men's Sexual Wellness. Visit yourgoodwood.com, yourgoodwood.com. Yes, hormone replacement therapy. Yes, NAD+. Yes, BPC 157, yes, ED treatment. The bottom line is, gentlemen, I don't care how old you are, it's about how old you feel, and do you want to feel like you did when you were younger? Do you want to live a more vital life? Do you want to live a more energetic life, where you wake up in the morning, your feet hit the floor, and you're rip-roaring ready to go, where you're motivated to get in the gym, where you have a great libido, where you have great mindset, energy, mental clarity, memory, all that sort of stuff? It's possible. It's affordable. Goodwood Men's Sexual Wellness can help you do it. Hormone replacement therapy could be a giant part of that for you. NAD Plus can literally help your cellular optimization to make you younger at a cellular level. BPC 157, tremendous in helping in recovery. Learn more. YourGoodwood.com.
Trust isn't given, it's earned. Earned both on the court and off. And every step along the way, I trust Our Lady of the Lake to keep me in the game.
FMOL Health, Our Lady of the Lake experts provide best-in-class care for our state's world-class athletes, because it takes a champion to care for champions.
On the court, I trust my team. For my health care, I trust the lake.
From championship athletes to everyday champions, trusted care starts here.
Jordan Faber here with some exciting news. Faber Automotive has officially arrived. We're proud to introduce your new hometown dealership, Faber Chevrolet GMC. That means more inventory, better deals, and the same great local team. Now backed by the trusted Faber family name. Whether you're shopping or servicing, you'll feel the difference from day one. Allow us the opportunity to earn your business.
Fabry Chevrolet GMC. Visit us in St. Francisville or online at FabryChevrolet.com.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust is giving our customers the power to bank anywhere, anytime during this challenging event. And we're right there with you. Our mobile banking app is a smart way to manage your money and time. Gulf Coast Bank and Trust, the bank that cares about you.
Who bears the standard? Who sets the bar? It's not those satisfied by low-hanging fruit or by taking it easy. No, the standard is set by the best of us, by those who work hard. Dig deeper. Give more. At Sunshine, we're proud to provide John Deere products that work hard for you, the standard bearers. Find the dealer nearest you at sunequip.com.
Hi, I'm Mitchell Meredith. At Locke Meredith Sean Fagan and Associates, we know each case and client are unique, and that no two cases are the same. But one thing remains constant, and that is our passion to help our clients. After an accident, we know your life has changed, which is why we passionately fight to make you and your family whole. Remember, whether you hire us at all, give us a call at 272-5555. We're here to serve you.
Flight by Yingling is raising the bar by crafting the next generation of light beer. With only 2.6 carbs and 95 calories, this...
After further review, presented by Relief Windows. Windows, doors, siding, and oh, we do shutters too.
Love telling you about Arco Power Systems, ARCCO, arco.com, arco.com. That's Arco Power Systems. You know, we talk about generators a lot in Louisiana, especially all along the Gulf Coast, where we're sort of in this storm belt right here in the Gulf Coast. Well, of course, a lot of people have home standby generators. When we talk about Arco Power Systems, these are not home standby generators. This is industrial generator power. This is for your business. I mean, just think about it. When the power goes out, be it a hurricane, an ice storm, snow like we had last year, power goes out. What do you do with your business? Well, being offline is not an option. That's why you need Arco Power Systems. ARCCO, arco.com, arco.com, arco.com. Just look at all the locations. Baton Rouge, Bossier, Harvey, Lake Charles, Mandeville, Mobile, LaPorte, Texas, San Antonio, Little Rock, Houston, Dallas. They're everywhere. So if you're a business and you need standby power for your business, you need Arco Power Systems, ARCCO, arco.com, arco.com, arco.com.
All right, LSU swept Milwaukee to open up the baseball season over the weekend. They'll play Kent State tonight. One of the things that everybody was super excited to see were the newcomers. You had a lot of highly touted transfers that came over, and a lot of guys that you had heard a lot about and even got to see a little bit in the scrimmages. And you also had some freshmen. And you saw 18 position players over the course of 3 games for LSU. And, man, the newcomers really, really shined. This conversation has to start with Seth Dardar. And, man, Friday was an awesome moment for that young man. Of course, if you're not familiar with his story, he's from Mandeville, North Shore, went to Holy Cross. From Holy Cross, went and played a couple seasons of baseball at Columbia in the Ivy League, dealt with a really, really tough injury that cost him an entirety of one of his seasons, ends up being out of baseball for a year, goes to Kansas State, has an awesome year in the Big 12, faced LSU and had great success, entered the portal with the sole purpose of going to LSU and not leaving Kansas State for anything other than a call from Jay Johnson. Got it, shows up, and comes in for a pinch hit at bat in just a massive moment in that game with LSU down 5-2 and proceeds to launch his first home run of his career and bring LSU within 1 run, a 2-run shot, and gave it a little pimp job. And, boy, you could see he was fired up rounding those bases, and that really just set the tone for him this weekend. Ends up hitting .375 over the course of the weekend, played in all 3 games with the 1 start on Saturday, hit 2 home runs, had a double, drove in 6, is leading this team in slugging percentage outside of Jack Ruckert, who we're going to get to, is leading this team in slugging percentage, though, for guys with 5 or more at-bats. He was awesome. And I'm going to tell you what it felt like. And look, if you have listened to Musso at the Box, you know how high I am on Seth Dardar. When everybody was asking what happens at second base, I gave you a case for each of the guys, and I said, but in my opinion, the most complete that I've seen is Dardar. I'm not telling you that he has won that job and that Seth Dardar is going to be in the lineup every single day. I'm not telling you that. Do I think that he should? Yes, but that's a different story. They're going to continue to platoon there. This is right field DH from a year ago. And I'll be damned if Seth Dardar didn't feel a lot like Jake Brown felt all of last year this weekend, where that's a guy that you put him into advantageous spots, and he's pretty good against lefties as well, but you were able to put him into advantageous spots where he could impact the game and impact winning a lot like they did with Jake Brown a year ago, and he came through time and time again. That's an awesome role that he could potentially fill on this team. He was magnificent, quite honestly, through the first 3 games for LSU with the bat, and he fielded 1,000 as well. Now, granted, he only had, trying to find it, 2 chances, but he made the plays. But that is what it felt like watching him go into certain spots and come in the big moment. They set him up for success, and he responded. And you're going to see them do that a lot this year. That's a guy that's going to hit in just about every game for LSU. He might not play the field in all of them, but the bat is what you really like. And he burst onto the scene. And those were really, really cool moments for him to hit 2 home runs in the opening weekend. Zach York. I want you to ask yourself, what did we constantly talk about with Zach York? Plate discipline. Man, he gets in the box and you think he's going to hit the ball 400 feet every time, and that's just not his game. He is elite with the bat at handling it. He understands the strike zone. He spits on pitches all the time. And he's going to get on base. And he's going to impact winning that way. And yeah, because he's so good and powerful and he's got such a great swing, he'll run into the homers. First AB, ran into a homer. That was his only hit on the weekend. Zach York went 1 for 6, but I'll be damned if he did not impact winning. 1 hit on the year, and his on-base percentage was .538 over the course of the first weekend. He walked 4 times, got hit by a pitch, came around and scored 5 times and made every single play you needed him to over at first base. Awesome debut for Zach York. The average will come. He will hit. I'm not worried about that. But what I love is, even though he's going 0 for 3 or 0 for 4 at the plate on a given day, he is still getting on. Zach York reached base 7 times over the weekend and again scored 5 of those times. And he only struck out 1 time. That's what you're going to get from him. And he's going to impact winning a whole lot for LSU. That was a great debut. Trent Carraway hit 500 and impacted the game in a multitude of ways as well. The squeeze bunt on Sunday, that was fantastic. The multi-hit day he had on Saturday, great. Drove in runs for you that day. Ended up driving 5 over the course of the weekend. The triple was a beautiful piece of hitting from Carraway. To see him use the backside of the field, drive it all the way to the wall, and clear the bases on Sunday to really blow that game open, he was huge for you. And then, of course, as I mentioned, the squeeze bunt. Showed great handling of the bat. Made an awesome pick over at second base. Great debut for him as well. And you have yet to see the power that's in that bat, but when you do, it is unmistakable, and it's coming. And then there's a couple freshmen that I wanted to talk about for sure. And we'll start with Jack Rucker. And we talked about him a little bit when Doug Thompson was here earlier. Jack Rucker, the one word I can give you for him right now is hustle. He plays the game with tremendous hustle. He is a great glove. He played in every single game this weekend, especially as a defensive replacement. You saw great range from him at second base, and that's a guy that could absolutely play shortstop for this team next year. But even more so, you've seen him step into the box, get 2 at-bats, and deliver 2 hits. Speaking of hustle, the first one was a bunt single on opening day, and it was a thing of beauty. He's got great speed, and then the double on Sunday was awesome as well. I love the hustle that young man plays with in the field and at the plate. He plays the game the right way, and it was awesome to see him get some extended action. And then Mason Braun. Mason Braun played in 2 games this weekend, started one of them, and he's going to get the start tonight. And you know what? It was a rough go of it at the plate for him to open up, but it was great to see him come off the bench Sunday and get a couple of hits. And you saw a single and a double. You saw some of the pop in the bat. He hit the ball really hard. Not as hard as Omar Cerna, who hit the ball 118 miles per hour. By the way, Omar Cerna as well needs to be mentioned in this. He was fantastic. Had a double, drove in a couple runs. But it was really great to see Mason Braun have those moments that he did ahead for LSU, or really get some redemption, I should say, for opening day. His last at bat on opening day, he stung the ball to left, but it was caught. And I think you saw him build. He was able to build off of that on Sunday. So those 5 really stood out from a offensive standpoint. How about the pitchers? Dax Dothy. Awesome moment. Awesome moment on Saturday. That's a guy who just came from Division II Angelo State. And he was put into that spot in a 1-run game, tight ball game. Need you to go out there and get this out for us, get us out of this inning. He drops in a beautiful slider and does the deal in front of the biggest crowd he's ever seen. Awesome the poise that he had in that moment. Marcos Paz got out there, got his feet wet, extended outing. Jay Johnson said after the game on Sunday, the next time you see him out there, the game's probably going to be in the balance. The fastball's big. I mean, like the stuff just played. You could see that. He gave up the 1 run. All right, fine. He bounced back great from it. You'll want to see a few more strikes. You'll get a few more strikes. But I thought those guys were awesome. Then Devin Sheeran, obviously he's a newcomer. He didn't pitch last year. He was on the team, but didn't pitch. And he was just electric. I mean, he was fantastic. And then we've talked plenty about Cooper Moore. But yes, Cooper Moore factors into this. He was sensational. Struck out 11, didn't walk anybody, and threw 6 innings. 5 pitches for strikes. He was awesome. So it was passing with flying colors for all the LSU newcomers here in their debut outings this weekend. And you'll see plenty more of them tonight when the Tigers take on Kent State. All right. We're going to grab a break. Before we do that, First South Farm Credit.
AFR is brought to you by First South Farm Credit. You know where to start. Your first call, your first visit, your first option when it comes to buying land in Louisiana is First South Farm Credit. And honestly, it doesn't even have to be land in Louisiana because First South Farm Credit can help you buy land in any of the contiguous 48. And they've got more than 40 branches in Louisiana, Mississippi, and Alabama. So if you're right here in the Southeast, there's First South Farm Credit locations all near you. But remember, like, for example, let's say a lot of our audience in New Orleans, of course. You're living in New Orleans, maybe you're starting to build a family, grow a family. You want to move to the North Shore like a lot of people do. You want to buy the 100 acres in Tangipahoa. You can. And First South Farm Credit can help because they have an office in Amite. So you can walk in there. You can do business with someone who talks like you, lives where you live, and help you buy land wherever you want to buy land in the contiguous 48. It's First South Farm Credit. If you're thinking of buying land, your first call, your first option should be First South Farm Credit. FirstSouthLand.com.
All right, it's been a great show here on this Lundy Grawl. We got one thing left to do. We'll wrap it up with Otterlocks. Big one in college basketball tonight. Iowa State and Houston. Top 10 matchup there in the Big 12. We'll see what Otter has for us on that game and some others as we close out a Monday edition of AFR presented by Relief Windows. That's next.
AFR.
Okay, so we've started the thaw out a bit. So it is a great day to get by Clegg's Nursery. Any of the 4 locations, Segan Air Airline, LA 16 in Denham, Mid-City on Donmore, and the Garden Center on Greenwell Springs. Tell you every day to buy local and shop local. I also tell you every day that at Clegg's they get new shipments arriving every day. Like this is one that they posted on Facebook earlier today. It's fruit tree time, peaches, peach trees, 5-gallon peach trees, $32.99. Go check out this photo and just look at the dozens and dozens and dozens and dozens of peach trees that they have in this photo. When I tell you selection, they're the best. The best selection, locally grown, they're locally operated. It's Clegg's Nursery. And if you want to plant a fruit tree, you've got to get it in the ground now. So get by and see our friends. Buy local, shop local at Clegg's Nursery.
Make Raising Cane's the first stop for your second line. Get extra saucy with a Cane's doubloon for just $1 that scores you extra cane sauce through April 3rd with any purchase. Let the good times roll this Mardi Gras with Raising Cane's. One love.
Transform your living space with Lacoste & Young Remodeling and take your home from outdated to outstanding. Redefine your kitchen for the ultimate culinary experience or elevate your daily routine with a spa-worthy bathroom retreat. Our skilled team brings 3D modeling to life to ensure your vision becomes a reality. We believe luxury should be accessible and offer tailored solutions to fit your budget without compromising quality. So contact us today for a free estimate. Lacoste & Young Remodeling, providing perfect solutions for your dream home.
At Bayou Automotive, we believe in a sales process that puts you first. We want you to experience an easy purchase with clear pricing and great service. Let Bayou Ford and Bayou Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram be your trusted partners in finding your perfect vehicle. The crew at Bayou Automotive is going to do right by you.
Hi, I'm Mitchell Meredith. At Locke Meredith, Sean Fagan & Associates, we know each case and client are unique, and that no 2 cases are the same. But one thing remains constant, and that is our passion to help our clients. After an accident, we know your life has changed, which is why we passionately fight to make you and your family whole. Remember, whether you hire us at all, give us a call at 272-5555. We're here to serve you.
We typically think of stress as being bad for us. At Our Lady of the Lake and LSU, we are researching how certain types of stress, such as exercise, can be good for our immune health. By studying people under extreme stress, such as athletes, astronauts, service members, and first responders, we're learning how to improve the immune health of everyone. That's the power of research. That's the impact of champions. Together, we roar.
My father, J.B. Falgu, had a vision of growth for First American Bank and the communities we serve. The bank's foundation was built on his legacy of compassion, loyalty, and dedication. Through his years of leadership, First American has prospered to heights even JB could not have imagined. I know my father would be extremely proud of the customer service and financial stability that First American provides to Southeast Louisiana. We continue to thrive because of the legacy of J.B. Falgout.
Looking for cleaner energy? Propane is energy for everyone. And when you're cooking with clean, affordable propane, you're cooking with gas. In the wintertime, nothing heats a home like Louisiana propane. And when you need hot water, propane's got you covered. Oh, and you won't regret that propane generator when the power goes out. I'm Miss Louisiana, Gabrielle McLeod, and to
After further review, presented by Relief Windows. Windows, doors, siding, and oh, we do shutters too.
AFR is brought to you by Parish Restoration. Kill mold, remove odor, other harmful pathogens, commercial or residential. As a matter of fact, Parish Restoration, I love the process, by the way. If you go to the website at parishrestoration.com, you can see videos of their patented non-toxic dry fog treatment. So you see exactly what it looks like. Very cool. But they have fogged, over at Parish Restoration, they fogged one of the largest buildings in the entire state of Louisiana. So it doesn't matter if it's your office building, your church, whatever it may be, school, or your home. They can even fog your car. Maybe your car has a weird odor, musty smell. Maybe you bought a used car from a smoker and you can't get that smoky smell out. This will do it. They'll come while you're at work, fog it. By the time you're done with work for the day, boom, you're back in a clean-smelling, fresh-smelling vehicle. It's Parish Restoration. Learn more at parishrestoration.com. Parishrestoration.com. Do business with someone you know. parishrestoration.com.
All right, closing out a Monday edition here of AFR. One thing left to do. We'll find out what we're betting on tonight. It is time for Otterlocks.
Otterlocks.
All right, time to win some money.
Presented by Total Maintenance AC Repair. Same-day service means you will never sleep hot. 480-1000. We are Total Maintenance.
I think it's safe to say that I won the bet.
And we go ahead and turn. Pull that down. We go ahead and turn to the Ottfather himself, Jimmy Ott. Otter, happy Lundy Gras. How are you?
Happy Lundy Gras, my friend. How about you? Doing good.
I'm doing great. It's baseball season again, Otter, and the Tigers swept the series, and they get to play again tonight. I'm in a great mood. This is about
huh?
Yeah. I mean,
Sweat. Poor guys hadn't been outside all year. Let's beat up on them. It makes you feel good, Musso. There you go.
It
Beat
does.
your chest.
It's one of the best things.
Milwaukee.
It's one of the best. Hey, Otter, they're the only Division I baseball team in Wisconsin. All right. They're the standard bearer for that state.
I would. Yeah, there you go. Yeah. What's your payroll? But bologna sandwich.
Yeah. Well, hey, man. Hey, pregame meal.
I know,
you got to get something in the tummy.
The best. He's the best. He's really good. We've got all his support. There's not a better fit between him and the support at LSU. But damn it, man, this non-conference schedule. He's really weak with it, man. He's got his reasons, but damn, it's hard to get excited.
Yeah, it is. Oh well. Look, if they want to go out there and put up 41 runs and strike out a program record, who am I to argue with them, Otter?
These guys never been outside before they get to Baton Rouge.
It's so good.
Sports. It's just in. Was Greenland prep school? Were they books?
Oh, man.
Oh, man.
All right, Otter. What are we looking for tonight?
Well, it's a light schedule, obviously, and I can't bet a 20-point line with Duke and Syracuse. I mean, that's going to come down to garbage time at the end. Duke's going to win big. They could be just above the number and fall below. But we are going to focus on a top-5 matchup. It's an awesome one in names. And, the Iowa State responded. They took care of that was one of our picks on Friday, that they would take care of Kansas after their emotional win against number 1 Utah last Monday night. With Richardson out in that game. Richardson came back and then sits him at the end for 10 minutes. But Iowa State, so emotional win, usually I'm going to fade it and go against the Cyclones here, but I'm not sure how big of a surprise or, I don't think anybody in the Iowa State's locker room was surprised they handed up on Kansas away. I do think that Houston is better than Kansas this year. And Houston's a great team, and we know about Sampson and all the success. but I think Iowa State's just as good. So this line should be about 4 or 5. We're laying like 1.5, 2.5. I'm going to take the Cyclones at home and lay the short number, where even before they started to get really good in the last few years, but they were always one of the toughest places to play in all of college basketball.
Iowa State with laying the points here tonight against Houston. Top 5 matchup up there in Ames, the crown jewel of the college basketball slate here on Monday. Where are y'all tomorrow, Otter?
I was taking a day off. Max is doing the show, though. He's at Dozy Place on Government Street. The usual cast of characters. Andy Isko from Las Vegas, Ace Seminara giving out his 3 complimentary college picks, and Max's own version of first, second, no class.
Hey.
So there you go. From Dozy Place on Government Street. They are open tomorrow for Mardi Gras.
All right, Otter. Well, y'all enjoy the parade route tomorrow. Happy Mardi Gras, and y'all be sure to go by and stop by and see Max and listen to the guys every day, Monday through Friday, 11 to 1 for Live at Lunch. Thank you, Otter.
All right, good luck. Good
luck. That is Jimmy Ott, the Ott father, with Iowa State laying the points here tonight against Houston. He gave that out at 2.5 on the website. Get a quick check of that for you here. I have enough time here to see what that maybe has moved up to now, or if it has. Otter mentioned a 1.5 out there. Over at DraftKings, that game still sits at 2.5. So Iowa State, 2.5-point favorite at home. Otter says to lay the points. That's just about going to do it here for us on Lundy Girl edition of After Further Review. Had a great time filling in for Matt. He is back tomorrow. Be then. AFR presented by Sunshine on Tuesday.
Always a pleasure to tell you about our friends at the Williamson Eye Center. Check them out online at williamsoneye.com. They've got locations all over the greater Baton Rouge area. On the Baton Rouge General Campus, you turn off a Bluebonnet onto Picardy, you make that right. And then right there at the stop sign, the building on the right, the first 2 floors, that's the Williamson Eye Center. State-of-the-art dry eye center, and it's full service. Of course, they have their state-of-the-art surgery center there where you can have your LASIK or whatever surgical procedure you're having. But they have your standard annual eye exam as well at the Williamson Eye Center. Learn more at williamsoneye.com. The thing I tell you every day is take the advice that I was given and change your life. To give yourself the gift of sight is absolutely incredible. If you're someone like me who spent your life with contacts or glasses, there is a way to be done with it forever. WilliamsonEye.com. Go see Dr. Blake Williamson for that free consultation. 924-2020, 924-2020, or WilliamsonEye.com for the Williamson Eye Center.
AFR.
Looking for cleaner energy? Propane is energy for everyone. Propane water heaters are very cost efficient, and the savings are even greater with a tankless propane water heater. We all know that Louisiana propane is a safe and environmentally friendly fuel. So why not go green while you save some green? I'm Miss Louisiana, Gabrielle McLeod, and for more information, visit louisianapropane.com.
Jordan Faber here with some exciting news. Faber Automotive has officially arrived. We're proud to introduce your new hometown dealership, Faber Chevrolet GMC. That means more inventory, better deals, and the same great local team. Now backed by the trusted Faber family name. Whether you're shopping or servicing, you'll feel the difference from day one. Allow us the opportunity to earn your business.
Fabry Chevrolet GMC. Visit us in St. Francisville or online at fabrychevrolet.com.
Hi, this is Beth Serena. Welcome to my pool. The first time I saw this beautiful pool, it exceeded every expectation that I had. They were able to get everything we wanted in this pool. It is a beautiful pool. We live out here, we eat out here, we watch TV out here. This is like our living room outside. We love this pool and everything about it. When we decided to build our pool, we called a great friend who is one of the best pool builders in the country in North Louisiana, and we said, who would you choose to build a pool in Baton Rouge? And without a hesitation, he told us Russell Pools. He said their history, tradition of great builds, great pools was unmatched. So of course, who did we call? Russell Pools. The advice I would give to anyone looking to build a pool is first call Russell Pools. They'll do an incredible job. It'll be incredibly organized. It'll be time efficient. And you will have your pool in no time.
Dr. Johnson, that's my guy. He gonna tell me when I need to do better. He gonna tell me when I need to slow down. And I trust him 100%. The medical care that I receive at LSU and with Our Lady of the Lake is top tier. I really trust what they telling me, and they keep me right.
Sometimes you ignore the signs, even when they're right in front of you. Problem gambling isn't always easy to spot. Know the signs, set your limit. Learn more about healthy gambling habits by visiting us online or text or call for free, confidential help now.
Supreme Jasmine is premium American-grown rice. From local farms to your table, every grain is supreme. Pick up a bag of Jasmine or any other of our Supreme American rice.